30.
There are people in this world. I will shut this shit down. I won't. No. We don't do that. See, you talking about the traumas that your grandmother and mother, that ain't your business. Stay in a child's place.
I'm not a child anymore, Mr. Sam.
But that's the point. You're trying to, okay, do you have any children?
I do.
Uh-huh. So your children need to come get in your relationship with you and your man? Or should they stay in their mother flipping place? That's what I thought.
So I'm supposed to be miserable.
No, you're supposed to be an adult.
He's trash. I'm listening. I just want to.
Who is this? Is that Big Shirley?
He said, "Is that Big Shirley?" You know he talks shit. That's him.
I mean, I'm trash. See, that's what I'm saying. This woman, this so-called woman, supposed woman, can say I'm trash. What if I said this wrong, Big Shirley? Bring the facts, the data, the statistics. Don't bring your trash ass attitude and take your bonnet off if you're gonna get on here.
Bitch, I don't want about hang on that.
Yeah, that's what, and see, and that's what I mean. That's all you gotta do. That's comes out to bitches and everything else. That's why your fat ass gonna die by yourself. Kick rocks, gotta settle. I gotta do this. Run, gentlemen, run from these women. There is no negotiating with them. Leave. Nothing you do is going to be right. Always the worst case scenario. Why? Because single women keep women single. You could hear the cholesterol in her voice. Hang up on that nigga. That nigga trash.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkey, rat. You name it.
Hang up on that nigga. He trash. Why did she try to do it? She couldn't even walk across to turn it off herself. Her gout probably flaring up. Single women keep women single. All you heard was negative. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. Men do this. Men do that. My mama, my dad, my daddy, my granddaddy, my this. Did he keep a roof over your head? Did he keep food in your stomach? You look healthier than a mother sucker.
Salute, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Simple Shit TV. I'm your host, Alvin Holden, also known as Project 8020, here with my brother, Broken Blade. What's up, Broken Blade? How you doing, sir?
What's up, man? I'm good.
Man, I miss this guy. We missed this guy, man. We missed this dude. I just happened to catch his clip. This is I remember this moment. You know what I'm saying? I just happened to have been watching on Instagram.
There are people in this world. I will shut this shit down. I won't. No. We don't do that. See, you talking about the traumas that your grandmother and mother, that ain't your business. Stay in a child's place.
I'm not a child anymore, Mr. Sam.
But that's the point. You're trying to. Okay, you don't have any. Do you have any children?
I do.
Uh-huh. So your children need to come get in your relationship with you and your man, or should they stay in their mother flipping place? That's what I thought.
So I'm supposed to be miserable.
No, you're supposed to be an adult.
Supposed to be miserable.
They couldn't make the reasonable leave and handle that between them, including if you have to leave, then okay, leave and leave peaceably. But hopefully, at least have the kid in two separate happy child, have the child in two separate happy households instead of one miserable.
You know, at this point, bro, it doesn't even feel like they're entering in these relationships trying to make the marriage work. It just seems like it's self-sabotage until it's like, well, I gotta go now. You know what I mean? And look, all I know is what I see and hear. But in some of my own personal familial situations that I've witnessed, you know, other people's marriages, not my own. I gotta be real. These ladies don't look like they're trying to stay in their relationships. They just don't. I'm just saying. Let's let Kevin cook. Come on, Kevin.
He's trash. I'm listening. I just want.
Who is this? You're supposed to be an adult.
Somebody in the background.
He's trash. I'm listening. I just want.
Who is this? Is that Big Shirley?
He said, "Is that Big Shirley?" You know
I mean, I'm trash. See, this is what I'm saying. This woman, this so-called woman, supposed woman can say I'm trash. What if I said this wrong, Big Shirley? Bring the facts, the data, the statistics. Don't bring your trash ass attitude and take your bonnet off if you're gonna get on here.
Bitch, I don't want about hang on that.
Yeah, that's what, and see, and that's what I mean. That's all you gotta do. That comes out to bitches and everything else. That's why your fat ass gonna die by yourself. Kick rocks, gotta settle. I gotta do this. Run, gentlemen, run from these women. There is no negotiating with them. Leave. Nothing you do is going to be right. Always the worst case scenario. Why? Because single women keep women single. You could hear the cholesterol in her voice. Hang up on that nigga trash.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkey, rat. You name it.
Hang up on that nigga. He's trash. Why did she try to do it? She couldn't even walk across to turn it off herself. Her gout probably flaring up. Single women keep women single. All you heard was negative. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. Men do this. Men do that. My mama, my dad, my daddy, my granddaddy, my this. My... Did he keep a roof over your head? Did he keep food in your stomach? You look healthier than a mother sucker.
Salute, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to Braxton. Oh, so Broken Blade. What do you? I had to have the B-dubs overplayed their hand, Broken Blade.
I believe so.
You think so?
And it seems everybody realizes it but them.
Oof. Okay. Do you think that they? So you don't think they know that? So they're not aware that they're on the chopping block.
Most of them, if not all, there might be a handful that realize. But those are the ones that could be reached anyway, the ones that are already with men.
Got you. Bro. Do you remember Halle Berry? Do you remember right? Like that was like, because she was like just the right amount of the black, you know what I'm saying? She was like just black enough to where the black girls wouldn't be mad at you. For like, you know what I'm saying? Like she was like she barely broke the threshold for like colorism. So she, you know what I'm saying? So she was black enough to pass, even though have you ever even seen her with a black person before? Wesley Snipes, maybe for a split second, maybe. She really didn't mess with black dudes for real.
Light-skinned dude that cheated on her.
I don't know her relationship like that. I just know that, you know,
like Jet Magazine years ago. Nigga's name,
like
Eric Benet, something like
Eric
that.
Benet, Shamar Moore, one of them dudes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think she might have dated one of them. Okay, but I mean, I think she's been married a few times. Have they all been white dudes?
Oh, I have no idea.
Damn, and I think, yeah, right. And I think she's like, I think the whole deal was that she was having to pay like, spousal support and stuff, but you know,
they say the muscle balls you tell us enough though. But...
yeah, but so check this out, bro. I mean, look, this was the Met Gala recently, and this is only a smaller piece of a larger conversation. I'm how do I say this? Like the dress is supposed to highlight the areas you want it to highlight, right? It's supposed to work with your body because this stuff is tailored, I'm assuming. So it's supposed to highlight certain parts of the body and the area and certain curves. And I imagine it kind of plays with light because they got the sparkly things on it. And so especially at the Met Gala, this is a piece of art, right? They're like wearing art, which I get. I totally get. I understand. You know what I'm saying? But I can't help but like, okay, so there's the obvious issues that I have with, I think, Halle Berry right now. Okay. We're gonna pass, let's just get to the part to where what parts of her body are we supposed to be focusing on?
What we're supposed to be.
I'm serious, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I would like here,
because
because here's the thing. I want to approach this not like a creep, but I'm just trying to understand better. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's pretty thin. It's a couple. It's thin in a couple of areas. You know,
transparent in a couple of areas.
Transparent in a couple of areas. That leaves. I mean, it's a pretty personal. I mean, I can't. I mean, my eyes keep going to this one part, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to understand whether or not that was the intent. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she was really trying to like put it out there, you know, like, you know, all the boys, she can get all the boys to come to the yard if that's what she's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know if that's what.
That's my assumption.
Okay. Now, if you were trying to date a woman and you met her, or you were starting to court her, or you were starting to get to know her, and she goes out in public with her whole hoo-ha out, would that increase or decrease your desire for her, do you think?
Decrease.
Gotcha. So if you did have some interest in this woman right here, in this woman right here, like if you did have some interest, you're telling me that if she were to have worn this outfit out to the Met Gala, then maybe this could be the thing that, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Check out Shirton's comment.
What he says here, said Halle Berry looking like she's trying to show out, and yeah, smelling like white diamonds perfume and a purse full of breath mints. Hey, damn, I didn't want to bury her. I just didn't want to, I was hoping.
Oh, I checked her list. Mostly white guys and light-skinned black dudes. There's 3 exceptions: Wesley Snipes, Eddie Murphy, 50 Cent.
Okay, all right. So she'll date an elite brother. Okay, all right. I mean, I'm not mad at her for that. Yeah. I'm not mad at her for that. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, because I think just like black women as a whole have overplayed their hand, I believe maybe Miss Halle Berry has overplayed hers also. And she did get married, which is the interesting thing, but she kept getting divorced, which is also an interesting thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like a lot of these other single women just aren't single, or they're single, but they've never even had any like solid relationships. And Halle Berry has absolutely been married a few times already, like married, divorce, married, divorce, married, divorce. So she was doing something right, but
putting on a mask long enough to get the guy to ring her up.
Yeah. And then she ends up showing who she really is. So I wanted to look at some of these these comments because these comments are out of control. Let me see if I can make these bigger. There we go. That's good right there. All right, let's see. What are these what you call it? Dang. Okay, stretch marks on her boobs. Ouch. And that was Katie L. That's a lady. Ouch. Russ Drake says, no class. There's some puke emojis. Is it me or can you see her C-section? Damn. Oh, shit. Oh, lo tiene presente todo el tiempo. Oh yeah, okay. Someone who's trying to Taylor Swift's was better. Okay. Someone says disgusting. Yikes. Where is, because there was a bunch of comments under, I think it was Variety. Let me find it, guys. I just wanted to read the comments off of it because they were oh my God. People are just dragging her. They're trying not to, but people are just what is this? Is it, who is this? I'm trying to understand. Who's that? Freeman's Journal said it. So it's a Freeman's Journal. It says got that tuna on display. Bro, it is a hot mess out here. What is this with these ladies? Let's see. Hold on. I gotta find this one. Dang, I gotta find it. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I think it was it at the very beginning? Celebrity photos. Variety. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Because I wanted to get the comments, but I wanted to get the ones that are from, you know, I don't know what I said. What did he say? He said the outrage only keeping lefties left over. You know what? You're probably right. I don't know how I feel about this Broken Blade.
You know, quick question, just to prove a point of just how far gone is she currently in a relationship?
I don't believe so.
Because one of the things I was focusing on, depending on the lighting, was her stomach. She looks like she's in like first trimester of pregnancy.
Like she might have. Oh goddamn! Like she might have something in the. But isn't she like 50 something?
Either she got a bit of pudge there, like either.
Okay, look here. Okay. Real quick. Just so that we don't get, so this doesn't get too far out of whack. Okay. For her age, her body is spectacular. Okay, yeah. I got to say that. I just got to say that. For her age, her body is spectacular, even with the stretch marks and a little bit of pudge and whatever. These bitches out here these days are fat, bro. So honestly, we got to give credit where credit is due. As of right now, what I'm saying, her body is spectacular.
The counter to that is I'm overweight myself. But I don't go parading my body like that.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Okay, I was just putting the disclaimer on there just because I imagine that with my, I'm probably going to get a little bit of hate. So I just wanted to at least put like a little bit of disclaimer out there. We're not saying her body is bad. What we're saying is that she may have overplayed her hand is what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think that she may have been able to get more out of a little bit more dress. If she would have, like, same dress, but just without the strips on it, people would have been like, same old Halle Berry. Ooh, she fine. She probably would have made it into a couple of rap songs. Like, Halle Berry's still fine. They would have, was she 58 years old? Okay. You know, you got Halle Berry, 58, 50. Got to find something that rhymes with 58. You get Halle Berry in your song. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you would, you know,
without the transparent strips, that dress, it would have been fun.
It would have been beautiful. Yes, absolutely. And look, man, if Halle Berry to walk up on me in the street and been like, hey, you know, let's go. I mean, who the fuck am I to say no? You know what I'm saying? I would be like, you know what? You're Halle Berry and your body is great for your age, for the age of someone even 20 years younger than you, for sure. But whether or not, I need to see this amount of vag online is just a different story. Well, look, let's just go through these comments real quick. Let's see. Agent Mom would say, okay, that's not a dress, it's lingerie. I've worn stuff like that, but it was only to bed to warm things up, if you know what I mean. Not in public. There's something to be said for modesty. But somebody comes back. The Met Gala is known for pushing the boundaries of fashion and self-expression, but sometimes those choices can feel at odds with the legacy of the person wearing them. Ooh. Halle Berry has always embodied grace, strength, and timeless elegance, which is why her choice of dress in this felt surprising and frankly disappointing. It didn't reflect the dignity or poise she's long been celebrated for. I say it's not to criticize, but out of deep respect and admiration for the legend that she is. That's interesting. What do you think about that comment, Broken Blade?
Well written.
Yeah, right?
Very respectful.
Yeah.
But poison dignity.
Say what?
I'm thinking of the poison dignity part.
Oh.
Sadly enough, like I'm coming off as a full dick right now, but like straight off the top of my head, the things that come to mind, I remember people really talking about as far as Halle goes, like through years, was her topless scene in was it
Swordfish
and the sex scene in Monsters Ball.
Yeah, the sex scene in Monster Ball fucked me up.
Dick down by a out and out dick.
Hillbilly, yeah, that was not, yeah, that was weird. That was weird to me. I never really got past that either. The boob scene in Swordfish though was bang on. Those were nice. That was nice. But what else we got going on here? Let's see. Halle Berry ain't a legend. She just a chick that got. Oh God! See, nobody's gonna be able to get past it. Let's see here.
Hold on. Actress with poison dick. I mean, thing like Angela Bassett.
Yeah, but she's not. She stays clothed though. She don't be coming out looking like that.
And married.
Yeah. Not messing with you, Variety. I'm seeing far too much. Halle's in incredible shape. He's not. I mean, this person isn't lying. Oh yeah. What did somebody say just a second ago? We hadn't got to her face. Wait, hold on. Her body's cool. Her face is giving, weekend fun. It looks like some. See, I don't want. So, Broken Blade, is it fair to comment on? It's okay to comment on someone's looks when they want you to comment on their looks, right?
Yeah.
Like I always
like her face isn't horrific to me, but clearly she's been under the knife.
Absolutely, she's absolutely been under the knife. Absolutely, without a doubt, without a doubt. Because I mean, look at her cheeks. Her cheeks are too big for her face right now. Like it's like they added filler to her cheekbones or something. Like her cheekbones don't look real. I have high cheekbones. I think it's just because I don't think she had high cheekbones. Like that wasn't something she had. Like she doesn't have high cheekbones in that picture right there. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden she's got these like crazy big cheekbones. So I don't really like commenting on people's appearance most times, but this is going to be relevant later on in the broadcast, which is why I wanted to do this. Cause I just kind of wanted to get a feel for what the people were thinking about having her whole business. I mean, right. Cause it almost looks uncomfortable down there next to your face. I'm like looking at it on the screen right there. And you got, Halle Berry's, if you just like look over, what I'm saying? Or is this that way? Look over and this is Halle Berry's hoo-ha just right there. I'm just saying, what the hell? But see, here's the thing. I'm also like, what? That's what she wore. So who am I not to celebrate it? Right? Like if she's embarrassed by it, then she probably shouldn't have worn it. Let's see. Halle Berry is still hot, but does not need to dress like that. I would agree. You are too iconic for this. Fire them tomorrow. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would be the look you sitting down, she's walking past, like trying to talk, you standing, you running out, like, yo.
And she's at eye level too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
I'd be like,
Yeah, so
like, but I mean, but and like I said, look, it is Halle Berry though. So I mean, it's Halle Berry. Shout out to New Jersey Patriot. He says, yes, I definitely would. He said, yes, I definitely would. Now, like I said, went for daring, desperate, holy smokes, exquisite, horrible thrash. Her twat looks wrinkled. Damn. It doesn't look wrinkled. It looks bare. I mean, it looks like it's had some use. It's gotten some use, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Granny, don't. Sexy simp. All I can think of is dirty toilet paper sticking to her crotch. Ridiculous. Yuck. Met Gala always reminds me of the crazy Capitol people in Hunger Games. Damn, that's real. That's real.
facts.
Democrats who have no brains, no class, are celebrating low class. This ain't sexy. You know what? And that's interesting. And I think this is a guy that be on TV and stuff. Who's his name?
Yeah,
Mark Rudolph.
Yeah.
So even he's jumping in and having something to say. Either the designer missed the mark on taste or it was just a bad angle. I'm trying not to judge too quickly, but it's definitely not my favorite. This is interesting right here. Love the Cher reference. So here's Cher she got her hoo-ha out. So, Halle's not the first one to do it. I mean, it's different, but
I think Cher was younger at the time, though.
Cher was definitely younger at the time. I don't know. Right then.
Yeah, to be fair.
It was like Cher got a certain age and she just stayed a certain age for like 50 years. I don't know how old she was. It was like she looked the same for 50 whole years. But, yeah, I'm not really all that's cool with the let me stop before I get called anti-Semitic. Definitely the best before date came out. Yikes. Boiled milk. A huge thumbs down. Too much plastic surgery. She used to be beautiful. Yikes. Terrible. As beautiful as she is, the dress does nothing. One, Halle Berry is hot. That dress is hideous. Wow. I guess the only parts of the body that are private now are liver and kidneys. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Who's this? Looks like it's from, oh, wow. Sheen. Oh, I had that. My bad. Sorry, guys. Forward. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Back to here. Anyway. I mean, okay. So I wanted to just set the table. I just wanted to set the table because Megyn Kelly had an opinion. And Broken Blade, I'm learning that what happens is that as long as it comes from the white lady's mouth, it's all good. So when they're like yelling the N-word, they're like, like, it's okay because it's them. You know what I'm saying? This country is for them. That's what, so they get. So what I figured is I might as well, let her talk about it. So let's let Megyn Kelly tell us about what Halle Berry was wearing.
Years ago, so did J-Lo. And now you've got Halle Berry, who's, truly, I think, accepted as one of the world's most beautiful women. Look at this. Yeah. This is a close-up, forgive me, of the side pube. We got side pube on the right and the left. And the thing that makes me so upset about this is
Megyn Kelly wanted y'all to see this. Just make it big there. So Megyn Kelly, because she wore it. She wore it. Is she embarrassed? If she embarrassed, she's not embarrassed, right? Right?
You would assume that.
Well, she's not embarrassed because if she was, there's no reason for her to be embarrassed, right? It's like she wore it, and we're talking about it. It's not weird because it would be weird if she was embarrassed by it and it was like, say, I don't know, something that was like completely inappropriate, then it wouldn't be weird that I have her superimposed on my screen while we're on here talking with it right next to our faces. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really see what the problem is. I really don't, you know, because, you know, I mean, I wouldn't be tripping if my girl had her hoo-ha out like this. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can see like hickeys and bite marks and whatever else, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if she had to like have like, we got to have like the easy sex before the show because, you know, I'm going to be like, you know, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm saying as a black woman, I think they used to call it a sapphire in the day. The sapphires, that was like black women that were kind of on that, you know, pay to play kind of a situation. I think that's what they used to call them. But anyways, let's let Megyn Kelly finish cooking.
Any woman could do this. All right. Now, by the way, Halle Berry, not for nothing, but she's put on probably about 10 pounds. So maybe this wasn't the night to bust out the side pube. But okay, it's fine.
Damn, Broken Blade. I think Megyn Kelly agrees with you. she says she's gained a couple of pounds. Damn. I was gonna give her a pass, but Broken Blade and Megyn Kelly are like, nah, bitch, you're not in that good enough shape.
Fine. But
say what?
But again, you dress like that, like you looking for the attention.
Is that what's happening here, Broken Blade? Are you sure? I mean, I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate. You know, because I don't know. Come into this thing with her hoo-ha out to get attention just seems way too simple.
Blatant, whorish.
Blatant. Yeah. Let's just see. Maybe I'm missing something. Let's see what they got to say.
Does your Lisa think if you brought her to the, let's say, radio and television correspondence dinner, that if she showed side pube, she couldn't make a headline or two? Literally every woman listening to me right now and every man who has a daughter or a wife or a sister knows that if they put their loved one in a side pube dress, they would get attention. They'd get clicks. They'd wind up maybe even on the Megyn Kelly show, but not for the right reason.
Huh.
No lie detected.
I'm trying to have a problem with what she was saying. I'm trying to have a problem with it. I don't know. Like, you guys tell me. What is she? Yeah, side pube. That's what she said. She said, if you got friends and people that you care about, ladies, don't let your...
Literally every woman listening to me right now and every man who has a daughter or a wife or a sister knows that if they put their loved one in a side pube dress, they would get attention. They'd get clicks. They'd wind up maybe even on the Megyn Kelly show, but not for the right reason. And Halle Berry has some sort of a complex where it's never enough. Her natural gorgeous skin, her natural gorgeous looks, her natural gorgeous breasts for that matter, it's not enough.
I don't think they're real, but I digress.
You've got to go full...
hers, she's... But
pube, because everybody has to outdo each other. You know, once Bianca Censori's been out there, right? Like, that's the new standard. Or that Emily Ratajkowski, whatever her name is, she's half naked all the time. This is the new, and like, we lose a little dignity as a society every time one of our actual stars buys into this.
It's crazy that they're claiming Halle Berry as a star. You know, sometimes I think that they're like, I'm like, have they really gotten past the racism stuff? I'm like, nah, not a chance. She's just, but see, that's where Halle Berry was. Halle Berry's always been able to like dance on the, you know what I'm saying? Like dance, you know, she was like just light enough to pass. So people gave her a little bit of leniency. They're like, well, we know you're half black, but you know, it's half, and you know, and you are pretty hot. So, you know.
Yeah, you're totally right on that. And Halle Berry, right? This is an Oscar award winner, right? Like this is someone who's not just some lady, right? Like she is, as you point out, kind of generally agreed upon as one of the, the world's most beautiful women. And she's going through this. It's totally unnecessary for her, but it does play into, I think, the societal pressures. And I don't want to say.
What pressures?
Broken leg. Question. You see this gentleman that she's with here?
Yeah.
Do you see him as being the type of guy that would give her useful or responsible choices as a designer? Yeah. But I'm like, part of me is thankful. That angle is not a good angle though. That angle kind of shows a little bit. I mean, we're again, for her age, like don't, like, again, we can't get it twisted, bro. Look, I look at bodies all the time. I'm in fitness, okay? I see bodies all the time. So we can't get it twisted. Her body is pretty great, okay? And then you add her age onto that, and that's also great. I'm seeing 21, 22-year-olds that are like fat right now, bro. Like fat, big fat, like in trouble fat. So I don't want to be misleading when I say this, but like I said, when you're wearing a dress and you got it out there, it's like you kind of make yourself a target, right?
Yeah, again, if it wasn't transparent, that would have looked great.
It would have been fine. We wouldn't have even been able to see that little belly coming, that little paunch right there. Damn, you're right. It does look like she might be like first trimester type shit. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I wanted to let Megan get this off real fast. Let's let this go.
Pressures as if she should be giving into them. I'm just saying that, like, the incentives of our world right now seem to be lined up this way. It's why so many people are on Instagram, flaunting their cleavage to get clicks. It's why, I mean, it's a very long road that leads to the British woman on OnlyFans having sex with 100 men in a day, right? It's the same road. We're all there. We're all looking at this same path where it just cheapens everything about who we are. I mean,
Broken Blade. I mean, would you get a little naked for some cash? Like, would you take your shirt off? You know what I'm saying? No, you wouldn't. I guess since we can't sell our bodies, it doesn't exactly come into our brains, right? As like a thing. Cause that's my whole thing, bro. It's so weird that, to me, that like a woman's default to have the right to sell her coochie and is crazy to me. I mean, I guess, yeah, of course you have the right to sell it, but then I look like the bad guy if I see like, you're selling your coochie, and she's like, I can sell my coochie if I want to sell my coochie. But I'm like, okay, I think that's gross, and I don't want to deal with you if you sell your coochie, but I can sell my coochie if I want to sell my coochie. I'm like, okay, I guess. I think that's gross though. And I imagine most
doesn't really get me. Was like at 18, they're going straight to porn. Like that means you were fucked up for years. It's not like you were raised right. Then all of a sudden, like 18, yeah, let's do this. That means,
oh yeah, no, yeah,
fucked up trauma. Nobody around you to guide you properly. Like, fuck, man.
No, these girls be experimenting, and they be out here doing all sorts of strange things. They find out relatively early that they can barter, that they have a bargaining chip, as it were. Let's let her rock one more time.
White House Correspondents' Dinner. She was considered a, quote, star who went to that thing a year or two ago. She showed her underwear there. I don't get it. Like, there's a time and a place for a sexy photo. I'm not against that. I'm truly not like a prude. But it's very weird to choose to show, instead of like your shoulders or like some cleavage, some like, tasteful amount of cleavage, to go well beyond that into showing, again, the side pube, which has now become a new thing. The pandering to the BLM crowd was over the top. May I read you?
Okay. Now here's okay. Now okay.
It's always on time, ain't it?
Okay. So look. Okay. So Halle Berry was the first part, but have black women overplayed their hand is the second part. And it's only going to get worse from here.
I'll bet.
So I would like I mean, maybe you might not find what she says offensive. And I'm not going to tell you whether I did or not either.
Yeah.
All right. So let's let her rock and then we'll talk about it.
I mean, this is unbelievable. If like
Fair use.
if the GOP did this, Vogue and the New York Times would be apoplectic about it. Listen to the menu that they served last night at what was basically the Black Met Gala. Delicacies like papaya piri-piri salad, cucumbers with Caribbean green seasoning, Creole chicken with lemon emulsion, BBQ collard greens with bacon, cornbread with a honey curry butter, and a dessert named Bodega Special Cosmic Brownie. I'm sorry, but this is making me uncomfortable. Because the Black people like chicken and they like Caribbean green seasoning, the Creole chicken they like collard greens with bacon and cornbread. This is like, so the left, Anna Wintour. Brownie. I'm sorry, but this is making me uncomfortable. Because the Black people like chicken and they like Caribbean green seasoning, the Creole chicken they like collard greens with bacon and cornbread. This is like, so the left, Anna Wintour can do this kind of pandering because she got a panel of Black advisors, all Black advisors. Oh, and they want us to know they met at the Apollo Theater in Harlem to plan this. And she's gotten their imprints, Stu. So it's fine for her to charge $75,000 for some Creole chicken and collard greens because she's having the Black Met Gala. But you tell me if anybody right of center served that menu at an event meant to honor Black Americans, they'd get fucking killed. That's time for forgive me.
Number
I would love if she has a point. Yeah, the blatant pandering. Same time though, like they always want to equate anything they can, including food, to race.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the question. Are you more mad at Megyn Kelly for bringing it up? Or are you more mad at these idiots at the Met Gala for having chicken, collard greens, and cornbread as their menu? Now, and I'm asking that question in good faith. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, right? And I'll present it to you this way. For so long, we've been boxed out of the Met Gala and they weren't paying attention to us and they didn't think about any food or whatever, right? Like, so should we not be okay with them serving this kind of food at the Met Gala? Like, have we made it mainstream? Are we looking at this as a negative thing instead of a positive thing? What are your thoughts, Broken Blade? I don't know. I mean, because she felt she was like,
yeah, I was more annoyed with her. Like, it's one night, like, expand your fucking palate. You might find something you like.
Exactly. Right. So then it was like, so wait, so she maybe found offense in the meal, but maybe like everyone at the Met Gala wasn't offended by it. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, because we want, like, you know, Black, we fight to be in these spaces and doing these things, right? Like the Met Gala, you know, which is a philanthropic. That's a question for another day. So we're being included and they're pandering to us as a group of people. Now, personally, I don't see how it does Black people any good as a whole, but maybe it will inspire some young youth and their art and maybe, you know, clothing styles, and maybe that will have inspired.
What the hell's the point of the Met Gala? What is this?
They raise money. They raise money for museums. It's like they wash money for rich people. Like all of these museums and all that stuff is just ways for them to. Yeah, it's just ways for them to.
NFTs.
Yeah, like it's ways for them to move money around without getting taxed on it and get money out of the country and so on and so forth. I'm cool on never being represented at the Met Gala. I mean, look, I'm offended by all the Black men in dresses. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Broken Blade. My question is, I'm sorry, my focus keeps kicking over here. I don't know why. So The reason I ask if Black women have overplayed their hand is because there has been a couple of situations recently that have come across my desk that seem like empty symbolic gestures. And for the same, like, for being part of the group of people that have fallen for the banana in the tailpipe multiple times already as Black Americans, like we've fallen for it multiple times already. You would think that the lovely ladies would be a little bit smarter with their choices. Alvin, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean is that the Democrat Party has given Black women the keys to the car. And even though they haven't been able to like drive this car over the last 4 or 8 or 12 or 16 years, they've been in the front seat. They've been in the front seat. And with the power that they have had, they have gotten absolutely nothing for Black people as a group and has found ways to not notice how their non-melanated counterparts have successfully been stealing money out of the kitty this whole time. And they've been satisfied with empty gestures and platitudes. So I'm building up to this. So I hear these guys going off about Black women. And I was like, God, it can't possibly be as bad as it can't be as bad as the way I think it is, right? Like it can't be. And sure enough, you know, these fools are really clowning, really clowning us, really clowning us. Check this out, bro. Check this out.
From Postmillennial. Statue of overweight Black woman inspired by Michelangelo's David, erected in Times Square to celebrate diversity. You know, I was just asking myself the other day, when are we going to get a statue of an overweight Black woman in Times Square? And then they did it.
Those inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another to try and create an understanding and basically encourage.
Carl, what are you doing?
Celebrating. I think liberals are insane. What about you?
Yeah, I think this is insanity. And in my city, ridiculous, absurd. But I do have a question. Has anybody here seen the David like in person?
The David?
Yeah,
where is
the
it?
actual
In
statue
Italy or whatever?
It's in Florence in the museum. Anybody?
Inspired how? It's not the same pose.
I think he was trying to take a pretty not so good thing and compare it to an actual piece of art without sounding like too much of a piece of I mean, I agree with them. I just, this is embarrassing, bro. Like, this is embarrassing. This is what I kind of wanted to get to. Let's let, there's a couple other comments I wanted to get to because this isn't the bad one. This isn't the, and oh, bro, damn it. My focus. Sorry guys. Ugh. Broken Blade. When I say that, not this video, but the next video, these two white dudes just roast Black women, like roast Black women. Yeah, shit that they couldn't have said like 3, 4, 5 years ago. And as bad as I felt, I was like, damn, they really stepped in it. Like they really like.
There's a video, I think it is. One of those guys has had a history for years saying stuff on radio. So
I get it. That's not my point.
Yeah.
My point is that they're saying it at all.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I know that there's these races. It's that they're so comfortable now. Right, bro, can you imagine someone talking shit about Halle Berry 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Like Halle Berry was like in this untouchable, like, you know what I mean? Like she's not in the and the idea that they're talking about her like she's a hood rat right now. Like we're out here, we are out here addressing Halle Berry and talking about Halle Berry like she is a hood rat, bro. That's crazy.
And again, though, like whose fault is that?
That's hers. She did it. That's her fault. Let's wrong.
That I would elect to be placed in Times Square instead. This is the release from Deception. And is there a better way to look at this? This is marble. Look at the net.
Yeah.
That is insane. Absolutely insane. I would also elect to place the Venus de Milo in Times Square instead of a bronze statue of a morbidly obese black woman.
It's an omen to the Democrat Party. That is their average voter, or if not their average voter, their core base. I think something like 80% of black women end up voting for Democrats. So it's an omen to them.
I do
So empty.
I do want to say this. I respect the craftsmanship. I don't know how to make a bronze statue. And, you know, there's like shirt folds and stuff. That is an obese black woman. That is a good statue.
I mean, the David was carved by hand. It's a masterpiece. This is like every other bronze statue, I feel like.
How do you make
in
a
terms
bronze
of
statue?
level of effort? I honestly don't know. But this is like the girl we were talking about it earlier that they put in front of the Wall Street Bull.
Yeah.
Where they're like, it's such a powerful symbol. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's not.
It's a 15-foot tall statue of like an angry black woman. Like, this is like an ode. They should put this in front of the DMV, honestly.
That's pretty funny.
Oh damn!
You know what I'm saying? Like, are black women ready for this? Are they ready for this kind of vitriol? Like, can they take the joke? I don't think their egos can take this kind of joking, bro. I don't think black women are built for this. I really don't. I don't think I know they think they're tough. I know they think they're tough. But see, these are the kind of conversations that the white boys have without cameras. The fact that they're having it in front of a camera now is what I'm talking about. The fact that Megyn Kelly was saying what she was saying about Halle Berry, someone that we all held as like tippity top, and she's like, fuck this hoe. I can talk about her like any way I want to. I'm wondering if the lovely ladies have overplayed their hand. Now, I'm asking this facetiously. I already know the answer, but you know, Friedman said it. He said the gynocracy is crumbling, and I'm here for it. That's what I'm talking about. I just okay. All right. So like I said, I came across this. Let me run that back again. He had to.
They should put 15-foot tall statue of like an angry black woman. Like, this is like an ode. They should put this in front of the DMV, honestly.
That's great. But no, you're right.
I honestly, I welcome this. Liberals, please. I welcome you to put a giant 12-foot statue of a black woman, but just have a statue symbolizing excellence. Like, and I mean this in all sincerity. Serena Williams, a world-renowned athlete, super accomplished, cherished for her incredible abilities, and already a celebrity. If they put up a statue of her in Times Square, I wouldn't bat an eye at it. I'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, she's a world-renowned athlete and celebrity. That's not surprising. If they put up a statue of Oprah, I'd be like, well, yeah, I totally get that. That's a billionaire woman who's like one of the most watched people on the planet. I totally get it. This is just woke, right? Yeah. It's like, we're going to make a statue of mendacity, of mediocrity. There you go. That's it.
They like can't even. They're like we can't get any meaner than like this is anything more than what we say right now, and it's gonna go all bad. You can tell they're like they got way more in the tuck, but they're not gonna let it go.
You're not saying nigger.
Yeah, facts. That's the next step. That's the next step. So what happened was I actually came across this clip first. Now I know these dudes. I guess I don't really. I think I knew one of these guys to maybe be a comedian. I don't really know them.
The guy on the left is a dude that was referred to. He's even from like fans his back then, he used to be funny. I don't know about now. Been more to politics. He's always been racist though.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro. Like I said, what's always happening is people were just starting to be able to get out what they really felt. That's it. People were just saying what they really
never
felt.
pulled punches though. This like this.
Say what?
He never really pulled punches though.
Got you.
I look up shit from years ago. Him saying like wild stuff.
Same stuff. I get it. I don't know. It's here. Let's let this rock. I mean, because it didn't get. Once again, man, I wasn't mad about it. I guess I'm just like, it sucks that. On some level, do we have to kind of sit on our hands? I guess. Like the B-dubs got to get this work. Like they just got to get this work. They don't, because they don't believe fat meat is greasy, right? They just don't believe it. So we got to just sit back and let them like take this ass whooping that they're about to get, because white supremacy is barreling down on them. Some of them are finding out the hard way. We're figuring it out. But see, all of these microaggressions and all this other stuff that we're feeling, that's the blowback. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like when we kind of like have to let it get out of hand because our women don't know how much we've been holding, like keeping it back. So it's like, okay, well, you know what? You got to hold your own nuts. Here, let's let these dudes cook real fast.
I am jealous of New Yorkers today. You know me, I go to New York all the time. I talk about how awesome South Carolina is. Beautiful day. I was out walking my adorable little puppy today, and you feel like a man, you know.
You feel like a man walking your puppy, but okay.
In the country. But today, I'm like, why couldn't I be in Times Square to see the unveiling and dedication of the big fat black woman statue in Times Square?
Thank you. I'm glad you noticed that. We all worked very hard to get that done. It's 12 feet tall.
Yes.
And it's done by a British sculptor. And
of course.
And the thing I love about it is it's real. Like there's no princess shit. It's just, this is who she is. And she has that attitude.
The pants. It's got attitude, right? I could see that statue just standing in front of a McDonald's counter,
demanding,
asking politely if they could have some ketchup packets. Oh, here you go. Yeah.
And
look at this. Why would you make a statue of something that's literally walking 10 feet in front of you at any given moment in New York?
Well, it's based on, I guess, the assumption that this poor group, unidentified group, gets zero attention and no one listens to them ever, and no one ever looks at them because they're only 7% of the population. Turn on your television, bro. They're 80% of the TV population. Look at Netflix right now. Look at every.
That's a very interesting point he just made there.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Most reality shows.
Well, also too, it's like how often we're represented as being criminals on the news and such too. So it's funny when they notice like nuance when it's stuff that they want to talk about, but when it's stuff that we got to talk about, they don't know. They can't understand the nuance.
Strokes.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight that, right? Because this would be the very same people that'll be like, "Oh, you black people, all you do is come blah 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 blah," not trying to pretend like they don't understand the nuance of a situation when he just finished explaining nuance. But I digress. Let's go.
Free movie. They're everywhere.
Well, the Queen Latifah's show got canceled.
Yes, after 5 seasons.
5 seasons of The Enforcer,
and thank you, Freedmen's Journal. And none of those roles are criminal. Also, thank you. That's 110% my point. Absolutely. Queen Latifah's got a show.
That's a Queen Latifah look right there. I look at that statue and think superhero woman that can fight, I don't know, Russian mob guys. Any man.
The amazing thing about it is there's a thing I call black energy that you just feel when you're around them, especially women like Queen Latifah. And when you go to the statue, it's just bronze. There's no person in there, but it's like that cartoon where the bird is taking the jewels out of that prince, and she brings them to all the different people, and then she eventually dies because it gets too cold. What's that thing called? The prince statue, something. But you're by that, and you just feel the energy.
Can't you? I could hear it. That just looks like. They ought to have like the neck on a motor where it just spins around like this. Like they should have done that. That would have been hilarious. Everyone would have then loved that statue.
Yeah, everyone. And the black people would have liked it too. They wouldn't have gotten mad.
That is pretty fucking funny. The cost of
Hammerhead was doing this.
Tell me, I'm gonna tell you. You ain't gonna tell me. Oh shit.
Oh, I wanted to be so mad, Broken Blade. I wanted to be so pissed off. I wanted to be so upset. I wanted to be so mad. But I looked at that picture and I saw that big bronze statue and just I visualized her head doing this. Oh no, you don't. Oh no, you did. Oh no, you did. Oh no, you didn't. Oh no, you did.
Motor where it just spins around like this. Like they ought to have like the neck on a motor where it just spins around like this. Like they should have done that. That would have been hilarious. Everyone would have then loved that statue.
Yeah, everyone. And the black people would have liked it too. They wouldn't have gotten mad.
Yeah, they'd have been, the brothers would have been laughing their balls off at the head just spins on a motor.
What?
This one's in Florence, Italy. Have you seen this one?
Is this real?
Yeah, this is real.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now check this out. Check this out. Check this out. This is crazy. All right. This is allegedly, I think, did you say France or Italy?
Yeah, I think Italy.
Look at this other statue. That can't be real. Like, is this some like Broken Blade? Like, okay, there's the statue of Deontay Wilder getting knocked out. There's this this one that they're talking about in New York. This is in Italy. Is this some sort of ritual that we're picking up on? Like building statues of you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
all the ones from the South were these generals riding horses, you know what I'm saying, looking down at people. Some of them, they had the one in New York had like a couple of slaves, they were pulling them behind. But you know, like, are black people being trolled by this? Is that what this is?
It's a possibility.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Piazza, it's
Florence, Italy.
The most beautiful art and architecture, and this is a woman on her phone.
Wow.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm on my phone.
I just sent you a video of some girl at Home Depot showing up after getting fired, and the cops like, "You got to go," and she's like, "I'm on the schedule," and they go, "It doesn't matter what schedule you're on. Your boss fired you. They don't want you here." And she's like, "But I'm on the schedule." And then the rest is, I don't know, 12 minutes of just as she's trying to find evidence that she deserves to be there.
Yeah, that she still deserves to be. They just can't be told no and understand no and then act accordingly. You leave because you don't work here anymore. You're not in charge during a traffic stop. If you don't have your license, identification, insurance, whatever, you will have to step out of the vehicle. Like all these things, there's no concept of it.
Are you bro? Ladies, are you listening? Guys, so they're talking like they're saying the quiet parts out loud, guys. Like, this is how they really feel. Y'all are not paying attention. This is how these people really feel about us, for real. And once again, it's like we're gonna forget about nuance. We're gonna forget about nuance.
As she's trying to find evidence that she deserves to be there.
Yeah, that she still deserves to be.
Deserves to be there.
They just can't be told no.
Again, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. That's my problem.
It's talking about a video of Home Depot. Phil Coop a couple weeks back showed a video of a girl that had a problem at a convenience store. All she had to do was leave. The police just wanted her gone.
Yeah.
Do everything in power, hanging around, counting the drawer, this, that, the third. Ended up her belligerents ended up getting her hemmed up, placed in the squad car, placed under arrest. All she had to do was leave.
They don't think the rules apply to them, for sure. Like the laws and jail and cops and stuff, they're not for women, they're for us. They just they didn't realize that this whole equality things means for them too. It's like, yo, I can go to jail, you can go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Oh my God, Lululemon Twerk Fest. I heard about that. I didn't see it. Let's let this do rock and roll.
And understand no, and then act accordingly. You leave because you don't work here anymore. You're not in charge during a traffic stop. If you don't have your license, identification, insurance, whatever, you will have to step out of the vehicle. Like all these things, there's no concept of it. I will do what I want to do. And even though you fired me, I'm on the schedule and I am coming back to work.
And the irony is that statue was because these women are treated like and hated by everyone.
Yes.
But the reason they're such is because they're on a pedestal. They're already on these statues. That's why they don't take any from anybody.
The spoiled child.
They're spoiled children. They've been told they're goddesses, and they grew up without a dad. So there's never a dad to go like, "Are you out of your mind?"
Is that okay for him to say? Are we cool with that?
I am, because it is the hard facts. Several of us tried to tell them this. They refused to listen.
So they just got to
hit different than the white lips.
Damn. I mean, you do know we're in that same ballpark. Like it's like we're so he's talking. I mean, you know, he's referencing her, but like, you know, he's referencing like us as a group. There's more of us born to a single mother household than two parents at this point. So he's talking about us too. You know, just like
always.
I'm caught in the middle, broken blade. Because again, on one side, he's not lying, but then I'm like, is this just an opportunity for racist, non-melanated people, an opportunity for them to get their shit off? You know what I mean?
Yeah, always.
Right? It's like, oh, they're down and they're clearly not doing so hot right now and not looking so good. So, and you're feeling real free with your words, so we can go ahead and kick the fat black chicks. Because there's no black men around to kick just yet. Diddy's in jail. These other rappers are in jail. You know, so this is the next best thing.
Get Smokey Robinson now.
I got a question to ask you about that. But we gotta figure out how to get these people off our heads, bro. Because this shit's unacceptable. We might have to start taking out attorneys and shit. I don't know what
get back here now. Don't ever talk to your mother like that again, and pick up that mess. It's never happened once.
Wow.
Don't ever tell a dad. So there's never
the spoiled child.
They're spoiled children. They've been told they're goddesses, and they grew up without a dad. So there's never a dad to go like, "Are you out of your mind? Get back here now." Don't ever talk to your mother like that again, and pick up that mess. It's never happened once.
No.
In fact, the cop is often the first guy to ever do that.
Yeah, their mothers who don't have a husband, like they don't have a father, teach them some of the worst habits and ways to interact with people. And, you know, we've seen fights where the mother has the baby in her arm and she's swinging with the other hand. We've seen toddlers and young kids hand in hand with their mom while she's heaving at a McDonald's employee. Cops, I just today watched they asked this woman to get out of the vehicle. She had two kids with her, probably 7 and 9 years old. And she starts saying that the cops are doing this because they're racist. And, you know, what the fuck are those kids going to think? And you watch the video and go, no, they're doing this because you're making a scene using your kids, thinking that's going to get you somehow out of trouble. And the more the cops have to fight you to put cuffs on and to get you out of the vehicle, your kids see that. They trust you as the mother, so you tell them it's racism. Now we got two more problems for another generation.
And they just go, ugh. They just get
fuck this. I hate this so much. I hate it. I don't want to listen to it. It makes me sick. I want to hurt somebody. And I'm like, damn, he's not. She's just so true. So true. Have black women, have the B-dubs overplayed their hand? Have the B-dubs overplayed their hand? Have they?
Freeman's Journal be laughing at you, by the way.
Cause, bro, I can't, because I hate that our people are being talked about like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
But like,
safe,
but see, but here's the thing. Like, we know it because they've been saying it to us this whole time. I know that this is how they feel about us, this particular group of people or whatever. I know that's how, and I act accordingly. I know that's how they feel about us. However, the B-dubs won't go around acting the way they act, and then they want to be surprised when they hear what they hear. And it's like, no, they really all feel that way because you all act the way that you act. Like, this is normal shit for, look how normal, look, man, look how normal this is for this dude. He's like, this is like, he's speaking about this as if it is facts. Like, this is how we are as a group. He's speaking about it as facts.
McDonald's employee, cops. I just didn't keep.
It's never happened once.
No.
In fact, the cop is often the first guy to ever do that.
Yeah. Their mothers who don't have a husband, like they don't have a father,
don't have a husband,
teach them some of the worst habits, and
their mothers teach them the worst habits,
ways to interact with people.
You
know, we've seen fights where the mother has the baby in her arm and she's swinging with the other hand. We've seen toddlers and young kids hand in hand with their mom while she's heaving at a McDonald's employee. Cops, I just today watched they asked this woman to get out of the vehicle. She had 2 kids with her, probably 7 and 9 years old. And she starts saying that the cops are doing this because they're racist. And, you know, what the fuck are those kids going to think? And you watch the video and go, no, they're doing this because you're making a scene using your kids, thinking that's going to get you somehow out of trouble. And the more the cops have to fight you to put cuffs on and to get you out of the vehicle, your kids see that. They trust you as the mother, so you tell them it's racism. Now we got 2 more problems for another generation.
And
fuck, man.
Again, he's not, dude. I think I got into this before, like some time ago.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. Because I'm trying to be getting every credit. Because again, we've said the same thing, but man, sitting here and trying not to be triggered by letting this white man talk to me like this or say this like this is crazy. And I'm not mad. And I'm like, I wish there was somebody here that's like, see, black women, look, this is what we've been trying to protect you from. This is how you're perceived. This is how they see you. When you go out acting the way you act and doing the things you do, they may not say anything directly to you, but when they get off to themselves and they feel comfortable, this is exactly how they feel about not only you, but all of us. And sure, again, we're overrepresented in the media for this bad behavior, but there's enough of it so that these guys can feel very comfortable. Like, they feel very comfortable saying the things that they're saying on microphones right now. And like, wow.
And they just go, ugh. They just get exhausted. Like that video, Sean, of the woman who, it's this nice old lady, that I'm sure the left would call her a Karen. And this woman's parked illegally in the handicapped. And this woman has a handicapped mom probably that she wants to drop off. And she goes, do you have a handicap sticker? And she goes, how's that any old business? And
saw that too.
And
I've seen them all.
And she's like, and their grammar, of course, is murderous.
The most educated group, remember? They need to hear this, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and again, maybe black women don't care how people are perceiving them, but
they're gonna learn then,
one way or another.
Yeah.
But you just see the woman go, ugh. And I think that's where most of us are with that particular demo. When that starts bubbling up, we're like, I don't need to see straw containers thrown around this restaurant. I'm just gonna go, ugh.
Yeah. Well, that's you do this now. You go, and then you contribute $100 to Shiloh Hendricks. That goes hand in hand with an now. You're just like, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Did you see our very own Lily on Piers?
Yes, I did. Very proud.
Wow.
What a set of balls. I like that. A lot of people look and go like, yeah, okay, yeah, you should say that. People don't understand the courage and bravery that comes with being on an international show like Piers Morgan. People watch it. And you have Black people on the panel. So, you might think you'd hold back something. She laid into that, ran with it, and very proud, very proud.
Round with saying the N-word, guys. That's what they're referencing. One of their friends was on Piers Morgan, and Piers was trying to get her to say the N-word. That's where we're at, y'all. That's where we're at. Y'all thought I was joking. I'm telling you, y'all thought I was joking. We will never get respect as long as we let that shit slide with each other. These white people are going to tell you what time it is every single time. We need to dead that word altogether. We got to dead that word altogether. Dead that word altogether. It's not just the word. It's just here's the thing. I don't like the disrespect. I don't like that someone can disrespect me more than I can disrespect him. What do you mean by that? What's the white man's version of that word? What is it? It doesn't exist. There isn't even a thing. What's the Asian version of that? That you can't say it out loud, or people like it could literally cause fights. What's the Arab version of it? A sand N-word. Okay, you can't use that one. What's the right? Like, so why is it that there is a slur for me and not everybody else? And then just because a couple of idiots on my side say that they still want to say it, it's somehow it's not a slur anymore. I'm fucking offended. White, black, or otherwise. I don't want anybody calling me that or referring to me as that. Why is it that I'm the only fucking person that can't say, hey, I'm offended by this. I don't want you to say it anymore. It needs to go in the bucket of words that can't be said in public.
And again, that could be dropped no problem on YouTube.
Again, you know what I mean? And again, but here's the thing: I can't make
of a certain country.
But here's the thing, bro: we can't say shit until the other black people get on board. We can't. I can't make my argument to other people if my own people are still saying it. Period. I just can't. Now, individually, like who's sitting directly in front of me, I'll be like, hey, FYI, I don't use that word. I prefer you don't use that word, at least when you're referring to me. At least when you're referring to me. I prefer not to use that word. Thank you. But, you know, you aren't the only stop being a victim. What do you want to leverage over the... Yeah. Look, man, again, right? Do you want equality or do you want to, you know? But see, this is what I'm talking about, bro. Like their bad behavior, they don't understand that their bad behavior spills over into other stuff. You know, and it's like, hey, like I understand it's like me, who gonna tell me this? You can't tell me that. You can't tell me this. But it's like, well, I understand that, yeah, I can't tell you anything, but you're not understanding that your bad behavior is spilling out onto the rest of us. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, see, Freedom Journal says, right? That would be equal. I feel you. I mean, but see, here's the thing. I would like to really, truly level the playing field for real. And these people, I didn't think so before, but I absolutely know now that these people are very afraid of being, of no longer being relevant. And what do I mean by that? First and foremost, when it really came down to it, and they got the green light to put these immigrants on a plane and get them the hell up out of here, hey, these people didn't hesitate. They're like, wait, we can just throw them on a plane and get them out of here like that? Yeah. Oh shit, go ahead. Let's go ahead. Yeah, don't do that. Do that. Ain't there gonna be like court stuff? Yeah, but they won't bring them back. Once they're gone, they're gone. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, do that. They weren't tripping. The second it was okay for them to get these Latinos up out of here, back to Guatemala, Honduras, or wherever it is you came from. Because you know why? Because they're like, we at least know these black people. These black people we know, they know how it all goes, and they understand. We know them. We don't like them, but we know them. We don't like them, but we know them.
And the other side of that, if the Latinos really got on coke with us, we would have had their back.
We would have. That would have been the move if they were really serious about it. Like that would have been the move. Like when they got into the Democrat Party, bro, all of the legislation and all that shit in California, the majority of that, bro, it's Latinos and Asians. That's who's Latinos, Asians, and then the white folks have been like siphoning off the top. What's this? What does he say? Let's say there is no equivalent to what the N-word. There is no equivalent. There just isn't. Like, let's not pretend like there is. And again,
like for example, like I guess some people don't know this. How a white person cracker? That's not the food. That's not the saltine. That's a reference to whipped cracker. The slur honky. We covered this a few months back. Back in the time of segregation, it was not at all uncommon for white men to have purely sexual relationships with black women, usually married black women.
Black women, yup. They would pull up and honk.
Pull up after dark, honk the horn.
And she'd have to come out. So we know, so like all of these, like even the slurs that are slurs for white folks are still demeaning black people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like there is no equivalent. So for us to sit out here and think that we can just, like, oh, well, you could call us a cracker. It's not the same. It doesn't have the same power. It doesn't have the same energy. People don't crash out over being called a cracker or a whore or a cunt or any of these other words. Like people don't crash out. Like that doesn't mean disrespect. No one's been lynched over those words. No one's been lynched. So like to think that they have the same kind of power is silly. But once again, it's us that we keep doing it. I ain't worried about Freeman's Journal. I ain't worried about him. That's all good. He's just mad because he got up here and he got out debated. And I understand, you know what I'm saying? This is probably the only L he ever took on the internet is on this channel. So I ain't mad at you, Freeman.
Yeah, that's the only solution now. And you can see the left flailing like Mark Lamont Hill when Pierce says, say the word. And then Mark Lamont Hill starts freaking out, not because he's scared of the word, but because it's like saying, I have a bomb. And someone goes, oh yeah, let it off. He doesn't have a bomb. So you have to go, no, don't. We'll all die. We'll all die if this bomb goes off. And I think people are, especially young people, are like, I don't even think that's a bomb.
Yeah, that's probably not even a real bomb. This has all been just a hoax over the whole time.
Yeah, let the counter go to 0 and we'll see what happens. Like, oh, you don't want to do that. Whoa.
Nothing.
Yeah, everyone's fired.
The girl sitting in the box there next to Lily,
when
Lily was going off, she's literally, her eyes were, look at her. Her eyes were, she wasn't moved.
Here's the thing. I bet y'all won't talk like that directly in front of me, though. It's like you pretend to be all tough and like it's not that big a deal. But if I'm standing directly in front of you, you wouldn't be speaking the way that you're speaking. You wouldn't be as jubilant as you are. You wouldn't be having the same kind of vibes that you got right now. Go ahead, Broken Blade.
That's hilarious. You damn right on that. Even though I am a fan of this dude, the guy is a racist, Anthony Cumia, but he was a part of a radio show that I still do listen to called Opie and Anthony, because Patricia O'Neal was on the show a lot. And they had a lot of racial conversations. It was weird because he had his views, but he was friends with Patrice because there was a line he wouldn't go beyond. It would always stay cordial when they had their racial conversations. But they did some live thing on one occasion, like some live party with their fans or whatever. And Flavor Flav was a part of the festivities. He brought his whole entourage and basically took the show over. Turned to a full-blown concert. The next day, Patrice was cracking mad jokes. Yeah, all the KKK hoods, all of that shit. But y'all dropped the hard on. Where was the energy when Flav was on stage? Y'all
Yeah.
got and he just had to sit there and laugh like, yeah, we bust out.
Code switch. Code switch. Code switch. You got to be 100% all of the time. Welcome to the broadcast real fast. Freedman's Journal. What's up, Freedman? How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on, Alvin? Broken Blade, how y'all doing?
Good, man. What's up, man? Hey, they were clowning the B-dubs. He's like, that statue should be out in front of the DMV. I was like, yo, yikes. What are your thoughts? You have black women overplayed their hand?
Yeah, man. Like I put in the chat, man, since Stacey Abrams' loss in the gubernatorial race in Georgia was the zenith for black women culturally, period.
Yeah.
It has been downhill ever since.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it, man. It's just all you got to do is observe. So you're talking about okay, so what's going on culturally? Black men are evacuating the community quickly.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Like, there is no gender war. It's just black men talking to black men and saying, man, you know what? You can do better. That's it. And they are like, I'm out. I'm not putting up with all of this chaos, all of this loud talking, all of this just nonsense. It's like, I can take 2 steps to the side and there are a lot of women who don't look like my mama that will treat me a lot better. So
damn,
I'm out. And that's really what's happening.
I agree.
So, and guess what? Do you think the guys speaking on here don't notice that either? You think you don't notice in the wider society interracial dating?
Yeah. Oh, and they have realized that black women are not protected anymore. Like, they're not being protected like they used to. Like, they're not. Right? You say something about Michelle Obama and everybody will jump up and, oh my God, how dare you, racist, blah, 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 blah. Man, this last year, they've been calling Michelle Obama a man this whole time. These last 2 years, bro. They've been calling Michelle Obama a tranny for 2 years. Like, bro, that's crazy. Like, all respect is just gone. It's gone. They absolutely played through whatever, what is it? Political cachet they had, political currency.
People are tired of it.
They really are.
They've been trying to turn the racial animus back up to 11, right? Because it is a useful political tool. And you have a society that's been told, don't be racist, don't be racist, don't be racist. And then all these niggas are chimping out all over the fucking place. I mean, all over the fucking place.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
Did you do that on purpose?
What?
I don't use that word on here, bro.
So what, man? It's just a word. Listen, man. The suburban people that gasp at the mention of the word nigga are just as controlled by it as anybody else.
Okay. All right. So
but this is your platform. This is your platform, and I did not know that, so I won't say it.
Okay, thank you. But and I appreciate that. But here's the thing. Do you not think that as a group, just as a group, we will not be able to get I don't believe, I'll just say this. As a group, I don't believe that we'll ever be able to get respect or be respected equally amongst other groups until we stop calling each other that. Personally.
Do you think black people were more or less respected as a group in the 50s than they are today in 2025?
I think we might have been more respected more then.
Exactly. And outright segregation.
Yeah, but we weren't out here calling each other
in outright segregation. And now the out of wedlock birth rate is 70%, a 70% bastardy rate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why do you think they were saying they don't have dads?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Because they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong.
So
that's
is
what
it?
I'm saying. That's the part that sucked because I had to sit there and take that shit. And I'm like,
So is
I'm
it the
part of a
N
group
word?
that's crazy dysfunctional. That's part of it, bro.
Oh no, listen.
That's
Is
part of
it
the
the?
self-hate. That's part of the
Here,
self-hate. I
I
think that
have
the
I
self-hating
have a
word.
theory. I
Okay,
have a
let's
theory.
hear it.
My theory is anything but marriage. Meaning, Black people will look at anything besides marriage and family. The N word on this channel is paramount. Paramount. The white man this, the white man this, respect from whites, yada yada yada. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to change until you can form families. Period.
I believe you.
Like I can Thanos snap the N word out of existence. Out of existence. You wouldn't even remember it was even said.
I think that
And
that
how
would,
many
I think that,
Black
that would
people
change
can then?
things. I think that would change things.
I don't. You know why?
I fundamentally think that that part of our, if you could Thanos snap that word out of our vernacular and us be able to operate without that word, I do believe that some of us, now it might not be a huge amount, 5% here, 10% there, 7% here, but I think that overall, yes, as a people, we would be better off if that word got Thanos snapped out of the vernacular. Yes, I do believe that.
So measurable. You think 5%. So we go from 70% bastardy rate to 65.
Maybe that's only one small
without
piece.
the N word.
Maybe that's all one small piece, but it's definitely working
See,
better.
and that
But
you
here's
just
what I'm saying.
hold on. You just proved my point. My point.
Yes.
One small piece.
Yes.
When 99% of the problem is marriage and family and not forming families.
Friedman, no, but
I know it is. I'm telling you, that is.
But look, the white man that we keep talking about, right? The white man that we keep talking about, the white man in the 60s, they was like, ooh, look, if we do this welfare thing, we can like clip like 3, 4, 5% every year. And then they have clipped 3, 4, 5% every year. And look where we're at. So to say that it doesn't work is crazy because that's exactly what they've been doing to us. Just
to say that what doesn't work.
They don't have to make all of us dysfunctional. They only got to make a few of us dysfunctional and then just continue to show it. You know, that's how it works. That whole like thing about 10%, this 10%, even Kevin Samuels talked about, hey, look, we don't have to have everybody. We got to get 10%. 10% is enough to move the rest of the crowd. They don't necessarily need all of us.
Who is
they just need. So what I'm simply saying is that, look, by taking that out of our vernacular and not using it, I believe that other groups would respect us as men more. I think other groups would respect us as people more. I think that less of us would be self-hating Black people. We might have a little bit more pride and dignity in ourselves, a little bit more self-respect, and that might keep us out of the street doing the dumb shit that we just finished. Huh?
Based on what? You think this based on an independent variable that you see?
Bro, look, check this out. We're the worst at everything, right? We're at the bottom.
Correct.
Would you agree? Okay, we're at the bottom. Okay.
Well, not
there's a word or a slur for us that exists for us, but not anybody else, and they're all
what
above
are you talking
us,
about?
right? Every other group.
There is no racial slur for any other group except Black people.
Not the same. Not that is on par with the fucking word we're talking about, bro.
Ours is so much worse.
Yes, it is.
Is it worse?
I mean, you can be dismissive if you want. It doesn't make it untrue.
I mean, these are opinions.
Walk into a room full of white people.
Is it worse because when you call somebody an N-word, they want to get violent?
Or it's about the fact that we're not going to be respected as an equal group until that word, because there is that word is for us and not anybody else. We will not be able. People will not look at us as equals until that word gets abolished altogether.
You can't be equal until that word is gone. Do you realize what you
can't
just said?
Start there. You got to
realize what you just said.
Absolutely.
You realize what you just said. Say it again.
You know what I'm saying. You're playing
no, I'm not. No, I don't know what you're saying. I said it that way
on purpose.
Okay, so you're not equal until that word is gone.
I'm saying that we won't be perceived or treated as equal. I'm sorry. I have to parse my words with you. I apologize. I wasn't
You're
clear
still saying the same
because
thing.
that's what I meant. We won't be perceived or respected the same way. We won't. Our perception, how people perceive or receive us, regardless of how capable we are, someone still has to like look at us and make a decision and decide whether or not they want to deal with us or not. And if we already come with a bunch of bullshit, whether we've earned it ourselves or not, that's going to decide how far we get. Like, I'm not saying anything that's crazy. These people, when they get by themselves, this is how they talk about us. They do not have real respect for us. They absolutely do not.
Us?
As a group. Yes, us as a group of people, black people.
And
American
see, and
blacks.
that is also your problem.
I didn't have any problems.
You
What's my
want to
problem?
hitch your train to Keisha? You want to hitch your train to low-class blacks, right? That act like N-words and
Freedman, I understand.
claim that
I
that
don't.
is an us.
But
You must want to.
No,
you focus
here's
on
the
it
thing.
so very often.
Because I get treated like them regardless of whether or not they're me or not.
When?
I don't all the time.
When?
All the time, bro.
What
I had
happened?
a bitch run up on me at the bar just the other day, and I'm like, I know she wouldn't have ran up on anybody else. Not the way she ran up on me.
Ran up on you and what?
Like tried to actually physically punch me. Like a woman from a bar, just a rando. But what I'm saying is that people get aggressive with us in ways that they don't get aggressive with other people. Why? Let's not pretend like it. Come on, man. You got to come in here in good faith. You got to come in here. Like we're not by any means victims by any means, but for us to ignore or pretend like we get treated exactly like everybody else is silly. That's where, I mean, this is not true. Here, real quick, I'm gonna come right back to you, Freedman. Braxton, how you doing, bro? How are you? Hell, save me.
I'm good, and do my mic sound funny right now? Because I have my
it sounds a little bit funny. You sound, yeah. You want to come back when you're ready?
All right, hold on.
Okay. Look, man, look, like I said, we're not victims by any means. All I'm simply saying, as a group, like it doesn't matter. Like every single business situation I've ever had to deal with, every job situation I've ever had to deal with, any person that you meet them, you don't know what their experiences have been with black people before you. You don't know whether or not they're going to treat you on an equal playing field with anybody else. You're going to bring your best foot forward and hope for the best. Hopefully you're good enough at whatever it happens to be. If these people already have these preconceived notions of what it is you are and what it is that you're about, is that going to put you at an advantage or a disadvantage based on how us black people are talked about? You heard what these assholes said. Ain't got no daddy, ain't got no this, ain't got no that, ain't got no this. Now, what if I'm one of those kids that's got one of those guys that does have two parents at home and does have a college education and do have a job, and then I run up against this asshole and he comes out at me and the first thing he says is something disrespectful? Has that
happened to you in an interview? You went in an interview and it was like, look at this N-word. When did that happen? And
I've had let's see, I've had the, oh, you speak really well for a black man.
Oh,
I gotta love that.
Got
one,
your
right?
feelings hurt.
You must be an educated. You must be one of them.
Got your
educated.
feelings hurt.
My feelings weren't hurt, but it did just.
I thought it was an N-word.
Are you trying to shame me, Freeman's Journal? You know what? For somebody that's like on this side of the internet, you sure use a lot of like black female tactics.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Trying to shame.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man to man.
Yeah.
Dodging drive-bys and gangbangers in the crack era. When I first heard another black man say, man, I was in an elevator and this white woman clutched her purse. In all honesty, I thought that man was a bitch. I thought he was a bitch. I said, what? She made you feel bad. She made you feel bad. When hanging around people that look like me.
Wait, hold on. Is that your roundabout way of calling me a bitch? Is that what you're doing?
That is bitch made. I'm gonna tell you that.
So you're saying that the argument that I was making is a bitch made argument. Is that what you're trying to say?
If you telling me a white person hurt your feelings because I
never said my feelings were hurt.
No. But you used a.
I mean, you're bringing an example. You're trying to make an example. You're bringing in an example. Either it's relevant or it's not. Is the example that you're using relevant to what I was talking about?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yes,
so you're calling me a bitch.
Well, I mean, if you want to take it that way, but what I'm telling you is, people that tell me that their feelings were hurt.
That's not what I said.
They don't even. You said that they called you an N-word.
You
I
over
said
here
someone
calling me a
called you an N-word.
bitch.
You
I'm
said,
saying, okay, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay,
you
well, if you're gonna
said,
bring an example in
hold
here,
on, time out.
no.
I
We're
asked,
gonna
do
do
you
it
have
right.
an N-word?
We're gonna do it right. Now, you asked me if I've ever been in a situation where somebody said, and I'm like, look, people have absolutely been disrespectful to me, thinking that it was not that big of a deal. And no, it didn't make me. I wasn't mad about it, but I'm like, damn, people are super comfortable being disrespectful, saying these kinds of things.
I said, did someone call you the N-word? And you said, yes, they did. That's what you said.
Absolutely.
Excitedly. But your story was someone said you spoke well.
This wasn't the only situation.
Okay, when was the N-word? When did you go into the interview and get the N-word
when
thrown
this
at you?
broad called me an N-word and said I was a fucking piece of shit, and she came running out of the fucking bar trying to hit me. Drunk white chick.
Oh, a drunk white chick. Okay.
It doesn't matter. She was comfortable enough to do it. What are we talking about? Like, if these people feel this comfortable disrespecting us in public, what are you talking about? That's exactly what I'm talking about. We're out here using this word and demeaning each other so often that they feel comfortable doing it to your face. And my point is that if we didn't do it, that would be one less point for them to try to disrespect us for. That's all. That's all. One less point, one less thing. That seems like for us to just wipe this word right off the map, because you know what? It's not that important. So we all, as a group of people, can't collectively just be like, you know what? Nobody there. This word literally is a disrespectful word that's only used for us, that doesn't have an equivalent for any other group. And we can't talk our own people out of not using this demeaning word against each other. That shit is crazy to me. There's
you're
no
in California?
fucking excuse. There's no excuse that you're
in California, right?
Yeah.
You've never heard a Mexican say the N-word about
I
another
fucking
Mexican?
hate it. I've whooped a lot of people's asses about it. Yes,
Hold on.
a lot of fights over it.
You've
White
never
people,
heard
Mexicans. Yes.
You've heard them refer to other people like that, right?
Yes.
You're in California.
Yes.
Okay, but you just said it was only for us.
I'm saying that when a Mexican uses it, they use it in a negative negative connotation, and you know what they mean. They mean us.
Oh, so when he called, when a Mexican calls another Mexican the N-word,
come on, Freeman Jr., you're playing.
Wait,
bro. You're trying to play.
Dude,
dumb.
I think you're
trying to play
have
dumb.
A lot of hurt,
it's a disrespectful.
I think you have a lot of hurt feelings, bro.
There's no hurt
you have a lot of
feelings.
hurt feelings.
See, there you go again.
Because I grew up there.
Look,
I grew up in California.
It doesn't matter where you grew up.
So
I've doesn't change anything.
I've heard that in reference to Californians say it. California minorities say it about other minorities.
I'm saying that doesn't make it okay. I check every single minority. I check anybody that says it in my presence. I do, because I don't like it.
Bro, you are a killjoy. You would have never made it in the military. I'm telling you.
That's why I didn't go.
Because the military.
Because I would have beat the fuck out of my.
No, you wouldn't have.
Out of there so quick.
You would have heard.
Kicked out of there so quick.
Bro, you would have heard a bunch of white.
Braxton, how you doing, bro? Are you back? This guy.
Yeah, I'm back. I disconnected them. I guess I'll just use those for only music from now on.
I feel you. So Braxton, do you think that black women have overplayed their hand? Do you think that they're out here kind of acting they're being a little bit too reckless for their own good?
When has that not been new to them? They made their bed, now they can lie in it.
So you don't feel bad for them?
No, I don't give a care.
Oh snap! Would you let your girl or your little sister or something? Would you let her go out of the house rocking that?
Well, one, I don't have a little sister. I only have big sisters.
Okay.
And secondly, I'm happily single. But if I did have a chick, it's not the matter of not letting her go out like that. I'll just let her look at herself in the mirror, let her try on the own dress that she have, and let her see for herself, and let her see for herself as you sure you want to go out like that? Because if I was you, and if I was still me right now, I wouldn't be dressed in a certain type of way.
But is this breakup material?
No, it's not really for a breakup material. I mean, it's not like she came out, butt naked, just either put something else over it or just change it.
Okay. All right. And if she's like, nah, it's my body, my choice, what do you do?
Then I say, you might want to make another type of choice with your body.
Okay. So you would still be on you would try to logic that thing through then. You think you could talk a woman out of that dress? You see this dress? You think you could convince her to change and put something else on?
I would I
You
would
would try.
try.
You would try.
No,
You would try.
I would try. No, I would try
You're
to
a nice.
I would try to give her the option of her changing her mind. I said I can't change it for her.
Okay, you right. You right. That's how I would play it. You right, but you say you probably wouldn't. You wouldn't break up with her though.
No, like I said, at the same time, it's not like she's coming out the house wearing nothing.
I can respect it. I can respect it. We can all stop using the N-word. Whites are still going to treat us like N-word.
Or better, or better yet, wearing a see-through dress where everything can be seen. Now that's a whole nother different type of ball game.
You mean more than what she is showing? You mean?
Yeah. Now that would be completely different than that, but still,
Oh,
hold on. I'm looking at it. Hold on.
Oh, so this is the limit for you. You like, there's another layer. You're like, okay, that strip could get a little thinner and I'd still kind of be okay with it. So you're not that offended by it.
No, I'm not. And at the same time, she had on a blazer. It looks like so she could have buttoned it up if she wanted to at any time.
Okay. That's what's up. Freeman, are you talking shit? You could talk. You typing. You could talk. Who's over here talking? Hey, we're super respectful around here. Who's this? Is this? Do we know him?
Yeah.
Is that Jock?
Jock,
we know Jock, right? Isn't he the resident police officer?
Yeah.
All right, man. And we don't know bad. No, we don't. We respect each other. We're gonna talk shit to each other a little bit, but we're gonna respect each other around here. Let's try not to fight. Okay. All right. So Braxton, are you offended by the N-word? Do you care? Does it bother you?
Well, okay, no. Okay, and real quick on the sister part, I'm the youngest of 7, by the way. I have 1 full-blooded sibling, my older sister, and the rest are half-bloods. So y'all know, yeah, I'm number 7. Okay. But as for the N-word, no, I'm not really much offended by it. Because it's been said, because in these times now, people use it. You gotta also put it in layers again. The young people, they use that word now. They're really saying it out of a trend, or literally out of endearment towards one another, and even towards a black person, if they feel the black person is comfortable with it. So really, where they're coming from is not from a hateful, menacing, the word I'm looking for, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, but I mean, like, okay, but I mean, so do you think though that even though they're not dealing with, because here's the thing, they're not just dealing with kids, or people their own age, they're dealing with adults too. Do you think that matters?
Yeah,
right?
I was
go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Do you think because I understand what you're saying, right? Like the youth don't have the same attachment to the word. They don't feel like it doesn't make them feel the way it makes us feel, or they don't see it the way we see it. Like they don't understand the history behind it. So they're, the way they respond to it is different, but they do have to deal with adults. Do you think that the fact that there is a difference, is there a possibility that it might mean something a little bit different to each? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
do you think that's an issue at all?
Yeah, like you said, to each to individuals, it might be a big issue. Now, however somebody deals with it is how they deal with it, and however somebody reacts to something, that's how they're going to react. From whatever type of name they're going to be called, whether it's dealing with your color, your ethnic background, religion, or whatever else, or dealing with your sexual orientation. Because just like somebody has a right to free speech, people have a right to react however they want to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? At the same time. But now my thing is like words are words. And at the same time, you want to be careful with your words. So I'm in between about it. So like you said, for instance, somebody calls me, whether it's the A or the hard ER, I wouldn't care. Number one, I'm from the deep South. I'm from Louisiana. So, so that's nothing new. But now for me, it's physical. Now, when somebody gets in your face and put your hands on you, or throw something at you, or even spit at you, now,
yeah.
So,
I guess I get. Oh, Cody Marshall, do you think what's up, bro? Welcome to the broadcast, Cody. Good to see you, bro.
Like
go ahead, Braxton.
For me, I'm sorry, yeah, but for me, I really don't care. So, until I said they can say whatever they want, call me whatever they want, because I've been called plenty of names throughout my life, racial and non-racial. But it was only very few times in my life where I was called something racial. Very, very few. But I was just called other stuff. But until somebody touches me, then I'll do something.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I can agree with that. I think the conversation that I'm trying to have, or at least the point that I'm trying to make, is a little bit larger than that. But real quick, Cody Marshall, welcome to the broadcast, bro. Do you feel like, because you don't use, well, I guess you do kind of use that word too. What do you think about getting rid of that word altogether?
Well, I mean, yeah, you can get rid of the word altogether. However, as far as like racism, that's not gonna change no one's mind because that's taught.
Of course.
You
Okay.
know, that's generational, you know.
Of course. Do you think that white folks think we're more intelligent because we still call each other that word, or less intelligent because we keep calling each other that word?
Less intelligent.
Hold on real quick. I'm gonna come back to you. Broken Blade, do you think white folks think that we are more intelligent for continuing to call each other that word, or less intelligent for calling us that word?
Less intelligent.
Thank you. Braxton, real quick. Braxton, do you think white folks and other folks, do you think that they think that as a group, black people are more intelligent for using that word, or less intelligent for using that word? For calling each other that?
I really say neither, because they already have a deep perceived conception of you being less intelligent than them, as they always have in prior to white, and in particular to white Americans, only white Americans here in the U.S. That's been a 3 to 4 to 5.5 century long ideal they've had, only for the ones that are racist, not all white people. So yes, so like I said, that's just the ongoing usual. It hasn't changed. So however they see you and think about you, it's just how they see you and how they're gonna think about you.
I agree with you. However, you didn't answer my question. Do you think that the fact that we still call each other that word, do you think they believe us, since we still do that, do you think that they believe us to be more intelligent or less intelligent? It's not a both question. Do you think by us calling each other, still using that word, do you think they think that makes us more intelligent or less intelligent? I'll come back to you.
No. No, I was just letting you talk. No, yeah, but I answer. I'll say less intelligent, not because of that. It's just for the fact that they already see us as quote low IQ, so we're already seen as less intelligent.
Got you. Do you think that us calling each other the N-word over and over and over again?
Yeah, and it's not due to us calling each other that word. It's just the way they see us, because we're not from the same group as them.
Do you think it helps? Do you think they think that we're more intelligent because we call each other that? That's the opposite of what you're. So what you're saying is that I could conceivably say that they believe us to be more intelligent because we use that word. Is that what you're saying? Can I say that?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Okay.
I'm just but
read me the journal. I'm gonna let you get it off, bro. Go ahead.
Because me, all I'm saying is all in one. If a white person is racist, and if they see you as beneath them, and they see you as less intelligent, and them simply for the main fact because y'all come from two separate gene pools, and whatever else, they already going to see you in a negative light, whether if you say the N-word or not. It doesn't matter what you say. You're still going to be beneath them in their view.
Question too complicated. I'm not asking you all that. We're over here running around the way that we are. You see how we're portrayed in the media with not wearing clothes that fit, acting a fool in public, doing all of those things, and we're all on our rap songs talking to each other like, I'll put this N-word in the dirt, and I'll put a hole in my dude's head, and nigga. And these white folks, I've heard them say it. What is it that there's a really racist joke. I'll come back to you when I can think of the whole thing. But they don't think very highly of us anyway. So I'm asking, do you think that the fact that we call each other that word so freely, does that make them more likely to think that we're intelligent or less intelligent? Freedom is journal, sir. Go ahead.
Less.
Less. Right?
It's. I mean, I know what you're getting at. That's bad argument. Not that that's bad argumentation. What it comes down to is my previous point about 99% of the energy being spent on 1% of the problem.
Right? I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Go ahead.
If you have the highest marriage rate, well, and here's the other. Okay, one. Actually, let me finish it. So, if you have the highest marriage rate, what would white people think of you?
I don't know. I think Indians have the highest marriage rate, right?
Black people have.
What do they think of Indians? Like Indians.
You tell me. What would they?
I think they think that they stay together and they have families and they're respected in business and respected in engineering. Yeah.
So
that's what I think.
And understand, if someone were to rewatch this, right, about 10 minutes ago, it was all about respect. So now the respect that you were so focused on, you have now demonstrated that with higher marriage rates, you would then get that respect.
I'm saying it's not. I was not disagreeing with what you said about higher marriage rates.
I'm just pointing that out.
What I'm pointing out is that you were serious about it wouldn't take much energy. How much energy would it take for us not to say anything anymore? Think about the ROI on that, for us to just not call each other the N-word, just not say it anymore. Like, that's it. Just not say something. That's all it would take, not for you to earn something, not for you to buy something, not for you to go somewhere, not for anything. Just stop saying the N-word. And I believe that our return on investment as a group collectively, just not saying that word anymore, will do so much better for how we're being perceived. Look, again,
who is our?
We are.
Hold on, I'm asking that seriously. Who is our?
Black men.
Because are you talking to anybody on the panel? Are you talking to anybody on the panel?
Yes, us.
Who? No. Who on the panel is going around doing what you just described? Anybody on the panel?
No one on the panel. No one on the panel.
Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat doing that?
I think there's a couple of people. I think you use the N-word regularly, don't you?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, I was fucking with you. No, none of us.
Just not. But not part of my vernacular, because you know who I'm not around?
People that ignorant people.
Okay.
You're not around ignorant people. Yes.
So there's no reason for me to use it.
Absolutely.
Now, and understand what you just said. I'm not around ignorant people.
Yes. I know, because I know what you were trying to do. I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do.
My only point here, Alvin, is that who is your audience? You keep saying our, but ain't on the panel.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Here's my point.
So the audience stop saying it
because I have the balls. Because I have the balls to say, hey, Freeman's Journal. I know that you might. I don't really like using that word on this channel. I don't use that word on this channel. Like I have enough balls to OGs or people that I respect or people that have bigger channels or whatever have been over here, and I've been like, hey, look, I don't use that word over here. A lot of us don't mind being mistreated in public or won't speak up and say anything just because it will rock the boat. So what I'm trying to do is set an example and is to let everyone know that, hey, we don't need this word. You can speak up and say we don't need it anymore. We don't work, and I'm giving you permission. Because I think that's all we really need. Because I was watching, shout out to the Viral Way podcast. I was watching a podcast and we're going to cover it. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I was covering them and they were having this conversation amongst, and these are kind of like younger 30s, mid 30s guys that have kind of been to jail, got out of jail. They're making money now. They're on the straight and narrow. They got kids and families and stuff. And you could tell that they were struggling with justifying still saying it now that they have kids and responsibilities and they know how business works and they've had an opportunity to get out of their hood a little bit. And suddenly they realize, you know what, like that is a really demeaning name. And even though it's been part of my culture for so long, something about it doesn't make me feel good when I say it. And they were having this conversation in real time. And you could see how, when you really put it in perspective, they were struggling with saying it because they know it's bad. So we can talk and around it and talk about feelings and stuff. Cause again, it's not about my feelings. I'm saying collectively as a group, I don't like it when people like, I had to sit here and watch these comedians talk all this shit about people. And again, they weren't talking about me. But it sucks that like the group of people that are associated with me are like taking these strays like this. I mean, the statue out in front of the DMV was like the funniest shit I've heard in a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's true.
Because it's
All
true.
Comedy is based on truth.
I agree.
Why was Black People versus Ninjas? But when Chris Rock skit, why was that so hilarious?
Because he was saying it, but he was also kind of saying it in good faith, at least.
No,
and that's what.
Oh, that has nothing to do with it. It was funny because it's true, and you know it.
Yeah, but I mean,
and
it was funny because it's true. But he also
the essence of comedy is something that you're not supposed to say socially.
No, but that's not all the way accurate. Because if your jokes have malicious intent, then they will land like they have malicious intent, and people will check you for it. Like a joke is a joke until you're trying to hurt somebody. You know that. Cody Marshall, do you still say that? You don't.
That's not the point. It was funny. It was funny.
What I'm saying is, it wouldn't be funny if he had said it in bad faith. Is what I'm saying.
But it wasn't funny
because he said it in good faith. Yes.
No. Was it funny?
Yes.
Was it true? It was either true or it wasn't. It was either true or it wasn't. Yep.
Well, hold on. I'm just not going to be reckless with what I say. I mean, I don't know. I would. Here, like I said, the joke was made in jest, of course, but it wasn't made in bad faith. And the funny thing about Chris Rock is, I'm having the conversation. Look, the reason, because you know why Chris Rock, when he was it Chris Rock that left and went to Africa? Who was it that left? Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, right? Like you've heard the story about why he stopped the show and part of the reason why he left, right? Because he was telling a joke that was making fun of Black people, and he was like, these white folks were laughing a little too hard, and he was like, are you laughing at me or are you laughing with me? And he started feeling like they were laughing at him, like they were laughing at his jokes, not with his jokes. That's the nuance that I'm talking about. Now, again, I'm not saying that it's not funny. Obviously, it's funny. But if someone is telling a joke to hurt your feelings, or they're telling a joke to hurt you, and like the audience can feel that joke will land flat.
What I asked was it true?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It wasn't hard. Nah. Because you know it's true.
But see, look, man, you just got to be careful with how you're doing, because we don't really realize that like these people are using our words against us. They're using our words as fuel for their racism. You know what I mean? To like push their narratives. You know what I mean? Because like, again, I told you before, we're not the only people to commit crimes. Like somehow it's like Black on Black crimes worse than white on white crime. That's worse than Asian on Asian crime. That's worse on Arab crime. That's worse on Jewish on Jewish crime. Like the crime is crime, but somehow we're supposed to believe that ours is worse than everyone else's. And we've got everyone to react like ours is like our crime needs to be punished more harshly than everyone else's. And that's the part where I have to get off the train. Does that make any sense? Cody, what do you think? Am I Cody, am I talking out of my ass? If I am, tell me.
No.
Do you not? I mean, because like you don't use that word, do you? Or do you? Kinda. You do. All right, that's fine.
I get real ticked off. Like it takes me a lot to get angry, and say it when you're mad. I have a lot of. I work a lot around a lot of ignorant people. Some people are ignorant. Okay, you got some that are smart, intelligent. Then you got some that are ghetto fabulous, straight ghetto.
Yeah. Okay.
Ghetto fabulous. You can't tell them nothing.
Can't tell them nothing.
You hear me? Nothing. Nothing.
Look, man, I understand that. every group of people has those. All I'm simply saying is that I think that we could, and I'm glad I'm glad I described it the way that I did. I think that we can get more respect from the masses if we just took that off the docket. That's all. Just stop saying it. We don't need to say it. I think that word still does more harm than good. But I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. So Cody Marshall, would you let your girl go out in this dress right here?
No.
No?
That's Halle Berry?
Yeah, that's Halle Berry. What do you think of her plastic surgery? Here, hold on. Do you think can you see her face? I think one eye.
Yeah, I can see her face. It's
I think her
just,
one eye looks bigger than the other. That's cool.
I mean, Halle is nice, but Halle is, she's still.
I mean, that's 58 years old right there, bro. You ain't trying to knock that down.
I mean, I knocked the dust off it. I mean,
it is Halle Berry. Freeman's Journal. Would you, if Halle Berry came a knocking, would you entertain?
No.
No? How much?
Man, bro, I'm 50. I'm not interested in 50-year-old box.
How much?
I'm not interested.
You wouldn't take $100,000?
No.
Not $200.
She wouldn't even come to me anyway. She paid some 20-year-old $100,000. Erykah Badu ain't looking for nobody her age. Come on now.
That's true. That's true.
You're right.
That's true. But I'm not asking. I'm just asking if you would do it. I don't know. I mean, I might not. I mean, $100,000, that's a nice little chunk of change. I could buy a couple cameras, a couple microphones. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It is Halle Berry. You know what I'm saying?
See, you trying to, so Elvin, you trying to make me a whoremonger?
I mean, no, I'm just saying, I mean, you know, we're never gonna cross her path anyway, right? It's all hypothetical. So I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying that if this version of Halle Berry were like, and I open the door and she's standing there in a trench coat and she goes, "You was talking shit a second ago, but you know what I'm saying, you want the box?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, Halle, I want the box." Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry I was talking shit. My bad. My bad. I mean, you know, I just don't think that she should be at the Met Gala half naked. That's all. And the thing of it is that my whole point of this whole conversation is that it used to be that it would be insane for Megyn Kelly to say the things that she said about Halle Berry with the veracity that she said it 10 years ago. And maybe Halle Berry, you know, and 10 years ago, Halle Berry had swordfish out, so we knew what her boobs looked like. I think she had already slept with Billy Bob Thornton in Monsters Ball, so we had already seen that sort of, but no one would still, at that point, no one would speak out against her the way that, you know, that Megyn Kelly did. And then these two dudes just sitting here talking about Black culture and Black women in the way that they were with impunity. They were not concerned about the fact that there was cameras and microphones, and they were talking cash shit. And I have to, and it just makes me ask, have Black women overplayed their hand? Like, have they gotten to the point now to where they've made everyone so mad that Black men aren't volunteering to protect them anymore, and all these other immigrant women have been telling you what time it is, and now Black women or white women and white men have been perfectly comfortable getting it off? Pause. I mean, I don't know. Broken Blade, what do you think, man? Do you think that Black women can get that respect back? I think I asked you this the other day. What do you think it would take? Like, let's be realistic. What do you think it would really take for Black women to like reel this shit back? Can they be? What do you think it would take beyond an act of God? Just short of an act of God, I mean.
I don't know how many seasons of anime it would be to see that full redemption arc play out. First, they're checking the attitude, dropping the whorish clothing, or finding a way to get into the majority of black men's good graces.
Ooh.
Herculean feat. That.
Ooh.
It's just from the parallel here is just knowing what we know. Like,
they wouldn't get it together, huh? What if this is it? Like, do you think that, like, what if, I don't know, maybe I've been seeing on TikTok, it seems like I've seen a couple of like light apologies from black women. Not enough, huh? Not lasting.
Well, culture doesn't turn on a dime.
That's true. That's true. What do you okay, so Freeman's Journal. All right. So what do we, how would we, I mean, I have some ideas about what I would do if I were really trying to change the behavior of an entire group of women. Where would you start? Or are you like, where would you start? Giving up is not an option. If you were like, your job is to try to change how these women operate as a group, what would you do first?
Cut the entitlements.
Okay. All right. So like the welfare SNAP, the blah, 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 blah. What?
Yeah, entitlement programs that are aimed at quote unquote kids are really just turning a uterus into a profit center. So I'd cut that, and then I would also get rid of federally guaranteed student loans.
Qualifying for them?
No, I would get rid of them, period. The government cannot back a student loan.
Okay,
period.
I'm with that.
I would do those two things, and those would bring a rapid change.
Okay. And because is that the unintended consequence being more financial interdependency?
Yeah, the consequence is financial dependency. Not even interdependency, dependency.
So
because if you basically, black women would have the same economic prospects as black men without the uterus as a profit center.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great start.
So the negative education that black men are getting, right? The programs are aimed at women, which are school and WIC and all that other stuff, gone. Uh-oh.
Do you think they would struggle to succeed?
Oh, incredibly.
Okay. So was the next logical step would be education?
What do you mean logical?
Jobs? Well, I mean, okay, so we take that stuff away, right? So we're taking away their side hustles and their
okay.
Right?
I see what you're saying.
So if you take all that stuff away, they have a financial like shock to the system. So them being able to say, oh, I could just go just register for school regardless of whether I qualify or whether I should go or whether my grades are good enough or any of that stuff. I can go and I can get paid to go to school. I can get paid to have kids. I can get paid to, so you take all that stuff away. Suddenly now college isn't exactly achievable for everybody. Are there jobs? Do we send them to trade schools?
I mean, lower class blacks have to start over. Let me start there. They're going to have to start over. Like it's 1865. Because they are not economically viable. Period. So, the other thing I forgot was I'd get rid of HUD as well, because black concentrated poverty in cities is a result of policy.
Yeah,
right?
I agree with that.
Who aggregates in cities?
Watch this.
Who isn't black? Rich people. Relatively rich people, except blacks.
How does that happen?
Well, because they're encouraged through HUD, homie. I know it's a big white conspiracy to keep the black man down. I get it. But the whole point is the industry behind white poverty is invisible to you because you're never there. As someone who's traveled the hinterlands, yes, white poverty exists in places.
Of course it does. I'm always arguing. I'm saying that there's more white poverty than black poverty. I'm constantly saying that we keep highlighting ours, even though there's more of theirs. That's my problem.
Poor blacks live around the cameras. And poor blacks are in front of the cameras.
Wait, did you say poor blacks are in front of the cameras?
Yes.
You're right. Goddamn, he's kind of right.
Jethro, listen. Jethro is in the middle of nowhere, and if he drunk drives in a ditch, no one cares.
No, it's that nobody posts it.
Nobody is pulling a camera crew out of Philadelphia and going 50 miles to film this particular thing because a white person did it.
You're right. You're right. They're not. They only like to post our debauchery.
What?
Yeah, you're right.
You're in front of the camera. You're murdering.
I'm not doing anything debaucherous. I'm saying these other people.
Oh, now see the bill.
Yes.
What was
that?
Anyway, back
Cody,
to the point.
What were you saying a second ago? That wasn't there? What was that was fighting in McDonald's? Wasn't there some fast food? Some black women were fighting like crazy. There was a clip that just went viral recently. Somebody help me out. There was one of you guys mentioned.
There are so you got to be more specific.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much ammunition, bro. That's what I'm saying. There's so much ammunition.
Black women fighting in McDonald's is a enormously large category. I'm sorry. But anyway, back to what we were saying. What would I do to change it, right?
Yes.
HUD.
Yeah. Okay.
HUD, no federal student loan guarantees, and no entitlements. And then the lower caste of black people are going to have to start over. They are not going to be in the cities, right? They're going to have to go out in the country and live with all the other poor people.
Damn.
So they will then be replaced and cities will become livable.
Damn.
Right? You're going to have to take like South Memphis, right? Maybe you lose, I don't know, 15, 25% of that black population.
Damn.
And then cities become far more livable. Right? Housing prices go down or they plateau for a generation. Right? Because all these ne'er-do-wells and troublemakers are in an environment that can handle them, where they're not around some liberal prosecutor that's going to kick them off to bail. They're actually going to do a little time at a young age and end up better for it.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. I can't even. I think that's wild that you think that that's a viable option for.
That's what's going to happen. That's what do you think would happen if you removed HUD? What do you think would happen if you remove Section 8? What do you think is going to happen? You think the indigent are just going to stay put? They're not economically able to do so.
I think they would figure it out.
How, bro?
I think when people are pressed, they'll figure it out. I mean, if you got to get Julio and them out of here because the low paying jobs are being scooped up by them.
What do you think's happening?
I mean, well, so Julio and them get taken away, right? And then Sister Girl.
And now Trump's going to get rid of Section 8.
That's fine.
Exactly. So you are, instead of paying poor people and the indigent to be comfortable and poor, now we're going to get rid of illegal alien labor, and they're going to be doing those jobs. Like I said, they have got to start over at the chicken plucking plant, at the pork plant, at doing manual labor, right? They have to start over. And so they will naturally have to leave the cities, right? And that's going to be more opportunity for other people in the cities. There's going to be less crime in the cities. Like that's what happens when you take away the thing that is maintaining the thing. The thing's got to change.
I think that's interesting. Okay, so tell me what that means for because there are more white folks on those things. So what does that look like for the rest of everybody else? What does that look like? Because I mean, I don't know. It sounds was your answer specific to melanated people, or was that across the board?
Well,
I think I asked you about black women, but and I think so. You answered me for black women. Correct. Okay, so then so those types of pressures are also going to be put on non-melanated people too, what kind of effect do you think that might have? I'm curious. I'm really curious. Same.
They're gonna have to go back to work. They're gonna have to start sewing T-shirts. They're gonna have to start doing something, right?
Yeah.
And I think maybe not you, but I think that the level at which people are willing to live will shock you, because a lot of those people will start living off the land, a not insignificant portion.
And you mean in a kind of in a gross, not so nice way, or would they like really get back to basics
in a 1920 Appalachian way? I mean, we've already done
shack in an outhouse type shit.
Yeah, we've already done the Great Depression.
Yeah,
we've done that already.
Yeah,
I mean, and make no mistake, there are small black towns that are rural that are just the same. Matter of fact, if you look at a racial dot map and just all you got to do is follow the Mississippi up, it's full of people that never left, basically.
Yeah, poor blacks. But okay, all right. So, because I'm not, like I said, I want us to win. I don't like losing. I hate losing. I hate being part of the losing group, regardless of whether we know how it is, regardless of whether or not we don't associate ourselves with degenerate behavior. We've all been piled up in that group with everybody else at one point in time. Like, we've been treated like they know who we are before. Have you not? You're laughing. Have you ever had a situation where you were like, damn, that's crazy. That feels like maybe that might have been kind of racist. Like, was that what I think it was? Like,
no. Can I tell you a story?
Sure.
So I got arrested once, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the course of this arrest, I was armed.
Okay.
And I was on my motorcycle. And instead of impounding my motorcycle, the cop rode it back to my house.
Okay.
Rode it back to my house, locked it up for me, all while I'm in the back, right? I'm in the back. There's two guys in the car, thankfully. And he just rode it back, no impound, right?
Okay.
Went up, knocked on the door, was kind of sheepishly apologetic to my mother that I was going to go to jail.
Okay.
And yeah, that was it. Just went to jail.
Okay.
Didn't get shot.
Okay, that's good.
Obviously. Mm-hmm. And really, it was more like a concierge arrest.
Okay. So it was pleasant.
I mean, I think as pleasant as an arrest can be.
Okay, got you. So you've never had anybody call you outside your name or like done anything that was like ever relatively racist to you then ever?
No, one Mexican guy called me the hard R, and I kind of laughed because I was like, I said, I'm the hard R? I said, you're the hard R. Now, this is a tattooed neck, bald-headed Mexican.
For sure.
Right?
Sure
but he wasn't bald-headed. He had his hair growing out, right? So I was like, dude, guy looked like he sold meth. I said, I'm better educated. I make more money.
Of course.
I mean, I own this stuff. This was by my house in California.
Mm-hmm. But we all know what time it is, though, right? Because you were the darker person, though, you were the N-word, right?
But here's the thing. I said, you're the N-word.
But he felt comfortable calling you that, though, right?
Yeah, but listen.
Like he was insulting you, like he called you the N-word?
No. Listen to the rest. So I called him the hard R.
After he brought it up the first time.
Yeah. And it blew his mind. He didn't even get violent. He just kind of walked off, stunned at the fact that I was in fact right. I'm better than him in all ways.
Of course. But you saw what he tried to do, though, right? Like you saw what he tried to do.
But that's why you have dignity.
I understand
that's why. No. Listen to my point. No, you're not finished.
Go ahead.
Because I put it in the chat. It's not what they call you. It's what you answer to. And if you have within yourself the own discipline and stoicism to have the dignity, it doesn't really matter.
We're talking past each other.
Doesn't matter.
We're talking past each other.
Because I personally don't believe in collectivism, honestly. There's no way I could believe in collectivism. I grew up in the crack era. You know, I didn't fall out. You know, I didn't fall out because I wasn't like them. I can go out and get a job and have a future. I don't need to sell crack. I don't need to appeal to this particular demographic of girl. I don't.
We understand that.
Yeah,
we understand
no. I want the black girl that goes to the debutante ball. The ones that are hopping in the dope man's car after school don't want them.
I agree with you.
That's what I mean by them.
I agree. But here's the thing. I know I understand what you're trying to do. And I get it. All of us on this panel are closer to being on the same side of the street when it comes down to this. But we know, just like anybody else knows, that we're all one big Negro. We know this. And this is what it is. Look, even Dennis, bro, look,
no,
you heard,
bro.
hold
That
on,
is your reality.
Look,
that is your reality.
Look, listen, hold on, listen. Did you not hear the story about when Dennis was getting at the ATM wearing a full-blown suit, and he was at the ATM and he had cops roll up on him, pull guns out, big situation, almost got wiped off of this earth just behind some overzealous cops. And he's a 6'6" black man in a suit in like downtown Houston or something. Like you can't sit here and try to pretend like we don't go through this bullshit with these microaggressions. I'm not saying we got to be victims to them, but to pretend like they don't exist is just disingenuous at best. You're killing me. You're killing me.
How many of those situations does it take to keep you from having a family?
It's not just that. Once again, I'm telling you. See,
I asked a question, man.
Okay, look. So what I'm saying is that
what
happens is a lot of these microaggressions put us in situations where we're always on the defense, bro. You know what I went out. Okay, look. Let me just tell you about my evening, and I didn't even really think about this until it was my non-melanated client, and I hope she's listening. My non-melanated client kind of brought it to my attention. I had been busting my ass for like 3 or 4 days straight, staring into these screens, doing all this bullshit. And I was like, you know what? I just need to come up for air. I just want to go have a glass of wine and just chill for a second, just for a couple of hours. Like the sun hadn't quite got down yet. Sun is like 4:30, 5 o'clock on a Sunday. I said, you know what? I can get a couple of minutes, some sunshine, get a couple of glasses of wine, and I can have, and just chill solo, right? Just solo, not calling no friends up, no nothing, just solo. I go to the bar. I got this like 50-something-year-old woman pressing up on me, trying to make conversation, trying to be in my space. I'm just and getting weird energy. And again, as a black person, just like, yo, I don't want to have to like deal with what you got going on. So I kindly get up and I go to another place. The women there are a little bit more drunk, and I happen to get into an altercation with a 6'1", 230, 40-pound woman that full-blown attacked me. Now, here's the thing. The type of anxiety that we have to deal with all the time because of these microaggressions and this bullshit that happens to us on a daily basis is the shit that makes us live 5, 6, 7 years shorter than everybody else. And all I'm simply saying is that I would like for less of that to be the case. That I would like for people to show up to our interaction with less of that bullshit rattling around in the back of their head. I would like for there just to be a little bit less bullshit for me to have to overcome. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That we should have a little bit more dignity in each other as a group of people, so that when we encounter other groups, that we don't have to like prove ourselves before they even want to deal with us. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about getting loans for businesses or trying to get or trying to do business, new contracts, trying to earn internships, just trying to do business. We're always having to deal with these like preconceived notions about what we are, who we are as people. I would just like to get a little bit less than that. Cody Marshall, am I crazy?
No, I had similar situations myself, but usually I try to avoid them or I walk away. But now, whereas a kid, he was just being, just harassing people and all that stuff. But other than that, man, I say this, I don't know, man. We live in a crazy world, man. We live in a crazy world.
Braxton, have you ever had someone give you the full blown like F you N-word? Have you gotten the full blown like the white hood racism? You have, Cody?
Yeah, a few times.
Okay.
One time.
Did they put their hands on? They didn't put their hands on you though, did they?
No, this is like, it's like that scene of RoboCop in RoboCop 2 when he got shot by that kid, and you like, wait a minute, did the kid just shoot me? He had to rewind it a little bit.
Gotcha. So you just in your brain, you're like, wait, did that just really just happen? I understand that. Like I said, man, all I'm saying is collectively as a group, you can't not know. I know Friedman knows what I'm talking about. You've been on the golf course.
But it's not like
you've heard.
It wasn't aggressive, you know. It was just like this dude, this white man. I don't know how, you know.
Get it out.
He said, "Look, you are my nigger." What? I'm like, what?
As in, like property?
No. I know. I understand where you're coming from, but I said, he had to say it like that, dude. Like,
so he wasn't trying to insult you. He just thought he thought you wanted to say that. He thought you wanted to hear that. Is that what I'm getting? Like he didn't think he was insulting you, right?
Yeah, but it was like at the same time, I'm like, I'm still walking. What the fuck just happened?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, like I said, I don't see any use. I just don't see any use for the role. Braxton, tell me, bro, has anybody ever hit you with the hard ER recently?
Yeah, but not in but not in an aggressive way. See, the first the first time I was called a nigger, I was in first grade, and then again when I was in high school, I was 17. I was walking home from school, and two white boys from the school, they were in the truck. The one in the passenger window. I mean the one on the passenger side. Had rolled down the passenger window, and then he said, he either said, "What's up, niggas?" or "nigga." I think he said "nigga." I can't remember, but yeah. And that was the last time I was called that by a white person.
No.
Hold on, no. My bad. No, the very last time I was called a nigger, it was back in 2021, back in the summer of 2021. I was in some YouTube stream, and that was the last time.
I was mine was in 2008 as well, but this was like aggressive ER.
Like you wanted to fight.
Yeah,
they're trying to provoke you into a fight.
Yeah,
I get it. I tell because it would and again to Friedman Journal's point, to a person that doesn't have emotional intelligence and poor impulse control. I could see how that would be triggering. I get that part. My whole point for this is that this is part of the reason why, as a group, that people think that they can pick on us. People think that they can fuck with us. Microaggression is and Freeman, did you put that up there because you don't believe it's a thing, or what?
In the bad check, he said he'd be right back.
Oh, okay, got you. Well, microaggression, I'm assuming he put it up there because he thinks that it's not something that it's not a thing, but. And Broken Blade, we're going to bring it up because we bring it up oftentimes because I think it's really important of the study that was done with these teachers that were following around the black kid, right? Or I'll come right to you, Cody. Or that you remember the kids that won those like the Olympics or something? There was like a
I know what you're talking about, Alvin. Yeah, that was in Ireland back in 2021, 2022. All those little white girls that got the medals, except for the one African girl, and even the little white girls, they were looking around like, what in the world is going on? How come she don't have a medal?
Exactly. Now that is a microaggression, and the fact that people think that they can do that and like get that shit off. and not have any kind of penalty for it, it's because they don't respect us as a group. She did that because she knew there wasn't any penalty for that. That type of behavior is okay. You can mistreat those people over there. It's okay. And what I'm saying is that by us continually using that word all of the time, regardless of whether we think that we've changed the way that it's the definition of it and we've taken ownership back, no matter what, every other group thinks we're fucking stupid. And they understand it to be an insult. And so now you got the Indian woman that comes over here that doesn't know a lick of English, but she can sure look at you and go, nigger, 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 nigger. Now, where does that come from?
British colonialism in their country for over 7 centuries.
And they think they can come over here and talk shit to us. Ain't that crazy? They think they can come over here from India where you shit in the street still. Like you're still shitting in holes from India, and they come here and they got the nerve to talk shit to us. That's crazy to me. But anyway, Cody Marshall, go ahead, bro. We're about to get up out of here, so we can do some closing statements. So Cody, what do you in closing? You can talk about good old Halle here, or anything else, Megyn Kelly, or anything else that we spoke about.
Megyn Kelly.
Anything that we spoke about.
When he see, I kind of came at the butt end of the situation, but what happened after he called me the hard ER, when I told him that my reply was, I said, without us you wouldn't exist. That's when he got really ticked off.
Ooh. So you hit him with the we all black whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
And you know, everything comes from a source, and I mean, you know, without anything that has a source is unknown.
What do you think about? Go ahead. Sorry.
What you were saying?
No, I was going to say, do you think that, you know, I mean, because we're kind of conservative over on this side, and I wouldn't say that we're like MAGA or anything like that. That's crazy. I wouldn't put myself in that group. But how do you feel that, you know, the people that are supposed to be on the conservative side feel so free to talk shit about black people the way that they've been doing? Does that bother you at all? Are you like, did you just shrug your shoulders? Because these dudes was giving they were giving black women the business. They're talking about these dudes right here. Where are they at? This guy. They were giving black women the business. Hold on. These dudes right here.
Because they're gonna say, "Oh, that's all they're gonna say is pure racism," and you know, but this is how I see this all the time out there on Canal Street, from working at Popeyes, working outside of Popeyes. You know, girls wearing hooker chic type clothes. The other night, I saw a woman wearing nothing but fishnets and lingerie out in public. Big old girl, big old black girl.
Yeah, like
that should be worn inside. However, she decided to wear it. Some of them, like a whole group of them, just come up in there and just.
What do we? I mean, like big. So what do we? I mean, what do we like? It's just hopeless, huh? We just gotta let them. We just gotta let it. If they if they die, they die.
It's just that the examples is out there. Fights, you know, like you said, the microaggressions. Like the other night, they had a guy was trying to start some stuff, and
that was a woman.
He had a whole mask on, but he looked like he was looking for trouble, even though he was with his girl. It's like I say, man. You know, some of these people just don't have no guidance. You know, no type of.
Sorry to cut you off. Here's another example. Did you guys hear the story about the guy in Cleveland that worked security, that went to break up? Some woman was having an altercation with some guy, and he gets in the middle of it. All of a sudden, all that energy is directed at him, and this guy spits in his face. And he ended up getting in a fight with two people defending himself and ends up losing his job. Again, like, people always talk about they're like racism. It's like, okay, if you want to talk about racism, why don't you talk about the shit that's actually racism? Like, because Freedmen's Journal, you actually jumped on it. You made a point earlier when we were talking about like getting the pulled over and all that stuff, right? It's like, if you're not committing crimes, that's one thing. But then once again, we have to pretend like the majority of these people that have been bulldozed and are that got convicted of crimes they didn't commit, 54 to 60% of them are black people. You see what I'm saying? So like all this crime that we were accused of doing, the majority of it we probably didn't really do. But that's okay though. Nobody cares. That's cool. Braxton, before we get up out of here, bro, anything that you want to say before we leave? And once again, thanks for coming and hanging out with me, bro. For real. You too, Cody.
Sure. Sure.
No problem, man.
Sure, welcome. Now, I was going to ask, relating to being called the N-word, which I rather have that up front or low key, personal choice. Me, I like myself front and center.
I'm with that.
Yeah, but now, and as for the Met Gala, I also noticed there were people wearing like boards and instruments. One guy wearing a whole piano or something. I swear that's interesting. The instruments can be worn as
Andre 3000.
now. Oh, okay, Andre. And what else I was about? What else I wanted to say? There was another incident that there was some other incident that it went on. I think this was around last year. Yeah, I think last year at our high school, it was some black student. It was a black boy walking out of the hallway. I don't know what happened, but one of the faculty and staff, a white boy, had called him a straight up hard ER while it was all being recorded. And right after he had called them that, he switched up like in 1 second and tried to apologize. And I was like, no, that's all on camera now. Yeah, and the 17-year-old boy was a bit taller than him. I was like, I'm surprised 17-year-old boy didn't do anything to him, regardless of him, being a teacher and being grown or whatever. But
like I said, I'm cool with not. I think that you should be stoic, and it's not the words. I don't really care about the words. It's not about that. Like I said, just collectively as a group, when it comes down to doing business and how we're, respected, so on and so forth, I think that just getting rid of the word altogether will put us in better stead or better standing. That's all. That was my position. But real quick, Freedman's Journal, before we get up out of here, I know you were going somewhere, so I put this up for you. What would you in closing? Well, make your point and then go ahead and close this out.
My point is that number there, that 9,284 murdered black people. That's the number no one cares about.
Is it black people being murdered by other black people, or?
Yeah.
I mean, black people are going to commit crimes next to people that they're next to. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah, and I might sound a bit coonish and sandwich, but I don't care because I love it. Now, 9 times out of 10, and I'm speaking as a Southerner from the lion's den, or you can say, the stronghold of white supremacy, blah, blah, blah. But 9 times out of 10, yeah, another black male or woman will be your biggest threat than a white male and female.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
I don't disagree with that. I think that's a poverty situation, not a black situation. But I mean, we can argue that a different day if you like. Because I have no problem. Again, my whole issue is trying to make it that our crime is worse than everyone else's. And that's just not the case. Crime is crime. Poor is poor. And if this other side, if this other group wasn't fixing and putting their hands on the scale and kneecapping people and destroying schools and stealing funding and poisoning food and all that bullshit, then I would be fine. But that's not the case. Like, white people been white people in that thing this whole time. So like, to sit here and try to pretend like they're not doing the thing that, and they're not partially responsible for the condition that an entire group of people are, is like I said, it's just disingenuous. Now, again, like I said, it's poor. I would be curious to know how many of these 9,284 were poor. Maybe there aren't that many. I don't know. I would like to know how many of these people came from poor places and how many people came from wealthy places. And I would like to know the same thing for the white and all the other races. I would like to know. I'm not saying that there would be a difference. I'm just curious, because the first question I ask is because I would assume that there is a correlation between poor and crime, not just black and crime. But I could be wrong. Go ahead. Sorry, Freeman.
No, it's just Yeah, like I said.
Look, I could be off base. I'd like to have a conversation. Please.
No one. It is a. I had a thought. Is like, is it possible to be black and not oppressed? Is it possible to be black and win?
That's a good question.
Is it possible to be black and victorious? Because the people that I notice that are the most wedded to black do not seem to be focused on victory.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Okay.
And simple shit, you're gonna really enjoy this now. When y'all talking about black poverty and white poverty now we've seen white poverty in areas like, well, even over there in California, in areas in Skid Row, in Kensington, Philly, in areas of up in Appalachia and all. But if you want to know where the poorest group of white people are, the white conservatives of Owsley County, Kentucky, are the top welfare, governmental assistance, and food stamp recipients in the whole entire country. Yes, white Christian conservatives of Owsley County, Kentucky. So yes, so all your welfare queens are right there in one place. It's not black people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vast majority of poor people are white, and yet,
yes,
and there you have it.
And yet, they
Please,
seem to kill them.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're making this point.
Kill themselves.
I told you was gonna like it.
No, go ahead, Freeman. I'm sorry.
They seem to kill each other a lot less.
Well, yeah, because the system's made for them. If it's your system, then you don't have a reason to kill people. Even if you're poor, you're not oppressed. Like the system is not.
So then it's not poverty.
Like as if I believe there's a couple of it.
Black poor and white poor is then different.
Look, man. Look, you can be poor, white, poor. Like I said, I've been in a Walgreens with a white man stealing right next to me with security watching both of us. And somehow this security guy missed the fact that this dude was stuffing stuff in his jacket because he was staring at me so hard. Like that happens all day, every day. That is every day. That is every day in a situation where black and whites live together. Whites commit crimes at a much higher clip. They just don't look at each other for criminality the same way. They just don't.
Is that why kids in Baltimore can't read? Because
we got sold out by our politicians.
With one of the best funded school systems.
Yeah.
In the country?
Somehow the money didn't make it to the kids, clearly. If the money gets allocated, but the kids ain't learning, what happened? Where'd the money go? Somebody took it off the top, right?
If money is the determining factor, how do charter schools that get half of what public schools get in a dollars per student metric,
we already
have
know
better results?
We have
the exact same kids in the exact same neighborhood. If it's money,
we know that these kids get worse scores and everything when they come from single parent homes, and all of these, and 70% of us are coming from these single parent homes. We know that the problem is. We know what the problem is. All I'm simply saying is that I think that we got to start getting a little bit more. We got to respect ourselves and see some value in ourselves a little bit more. And I think if we made some changes to how we operate with each other, people would respect us and operate with us differently. Also, that's all I'm really saying. I think that this word that we're talking about is fundamentally hurting us in ways that we just don't want to admit. And the fact that people keep trying to fight so hard to use this shitty ass word is just wild. Like the fact that people can't see the pain behind it, can't see the hurt behind it, can't see the emotion behind it, and then the disrespect behind it. It's a word specifically made to disrespect people.
Why won't? Never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Go ahead, please. I like the pushback. You keep me sharp.
What it sounds like is, why won't the white man love me?
Nah, it's why won't the black man love me? That's what it actually is. It's like, why do you guys hate each other? So why are we leaving room for these people to we're proving the point. We're making it easy for them.
What are you? Listen, Africans have been killing Africans since Africa. That is true in every diaspora. That is true in every country.
Yeah.
And every group.
Yeah. Well,
You just saw what happened. You just saw what happened to the cops with Tyree Nichols, right?
Yeah, they just got off, apparently, allegedly. Yeah.
Exactly. And they're not the only ones.
Nope.
They had that's happened all over the country.
Yeah, they get quiet and then they let them off. Yep.
Majority black cities with majority black population have some sort of hit squad.
Yeah, they're slave catchers.
So bro,
it's the same
everywhere.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
Whether it's the Bahamas,
you are proving my point.
Bro,
exactly.
It doesn't matter. Who are the slave catchers in Ghana? Go protest.
They have their own. Look, hey, look.
Hold on.
Are we trying to pretend that black Ghanaians arresting Ghanaians and doing crimes to other Ghanaians is the same as the plight that we've had over here in this country? Are we trying to say that that's the same thing?
The same intra-black violence is typified in every country. Every country. Is it special here because the white man?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's special here because the white man?
It should be different. Yeah, it should be different. Yeah. It absolutely should be different. Yeah.
Bro, I will leave you with this. Beyond good and evil. Right? Nietzsche. Beyond Good and Evil, chapter 9. Just read it. There is a passage about slave morality and master morality. The slave is unaccustomed to setting his own value. So he seeks a metric outside himself for which he sets his value. Master morality determines his own value. And he determines his circumstances.
What's either one of those? Is there a third option for that? Or you have to either be a master or a slave?
There's no third option. Just read it.
Gotcha.
Just read it.
Okay. Broken Blade in closing. Thanks for coming through, bro. For real. I always love it. Iron sharpens iron. Broken Blade, sir, in closing, anything that you'd like to leave us with?
Involved in regards to the N-word debate, is keep in mind, like, this channel got in trouble for criticizing the policies of a certain country. No slurs were used. Nothing out of the pocket was said racially. We criticized their policies, how they were moving against a certain group of people. But the hard R can be used with impunity on this platform. There's been more than one channel in the background. You've had all 6 letters, big, bold, black type in the background. Like, image warfare is a thing. In regards to our lovely ladies, their track record is less than impeccable, to say the least. Married European slave catchers and aided and abetted in the slave trade. Gave the body willingly to European Americans to separate themselves from black men during chattel slavery. Post-emancipation, when the issue of voting rights came up, our women sided with white women against us. Well, who should get voting rights first? In the 60s, hippie movement, there were free love. Many of our lovely ladies had salute, brother, had children out of wedlock. And many black men stepped up to play the part of stepdaddy to try to save the black community. Astronomical baby deletion rates. laughing at and celebrating the deaths of black men. Even shout out Theo Coop, one of his members found an old clip of Dr. Umar saying that black women have been the system's secret weapon, the perfect saboteur, playing on black men's emotions all these centuries, used our own children against us. They kept us dependent on the state. Shout out also to Tito the Black Pill Don. He covered the statues earlier today. And he brought up a damn good point. I've tried to think of other angles, thinking from I think he hit the nail on the head. The only time the U.S. has made statues in the past, should I top of my head, dead presidents, Native Americans, Confederate soldiers, and some historical figures. All bygone peoples. Much like the Sherman tank, these statues might be memorializing an obsolete weapon. Now, I've been vocal in the past on this stream and then Uncle D's stream about my thoughts about his call for ceasefire between black men and black women. I highly disagree, but I understand.
Yeah.
The Blizzard King, he's fully capable of walking over the bodies, but he would prefer not to see the bodies.
Yeah.
As heinous as these women have been to us, there's still men that want to protect them from themselves and from the hell the system can unleash on them.
Yeah.
But ladies, understand they're in the minority. Too many black men that put life and limb on the line to protect y'all from the hand of the system, and you never appreciate it. So we're done. Godspeed and God bless. I see nothing on earth that can save it. I'll let my point there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Broken Blade said he's done. Ladies, Broken Blade said he's done. Good luck. See you on the other side. Real quick, before we get up out of here, Mr. J Matt 55, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Welcome to the broadcast. I know I don't normally, you said ex Black Jesus.
Yes, sir.
What I was winding things down, but I'm wanted to have you up here so you could say your piece. What did you want to chime in on?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to chime in on kind of the piece that oh boy before Broken Blade said his piece, kind of the thing he talked about.
Okay.
Black people the world over have kind of suffered the world's worst PR. Black men more specifically. To the point even that gentlemen like himself really believe that Black people, those who phenotypically, dark features, wide noses, ears, foreheads, are somehow more violent, and that their violence means more specific, like to them, than anyone else's, as if the thousands of years of Irish, English, French, Goth, Visigoth, Dane, Norse violence that has existed. They make TV shows about them. We glorify their violence, yet our violence is somehow seen as shameful. And people continuously kind of harp on that, well, because Black people beat each other up and Africans do the same thing, so it's Black people everywhere. It's endemic in their population. I'm like, really? So French people don't mug French people.
That was exactly
Violence.
you're right on the money. Yep.
Yes, yeah. Violence is violence. Violence is a human condition. It is not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It is a human thing.
Yeah.
Cain and Abel, for all of the fundamental Christians out there, it was two brothers, blood brothers, born, shared a womb.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we've let everyone sucker us into thinking that our violence is somehow worse than everyone else's, which is giving them permission to penalize us more than everyone else. And it's some sucker shit. We allowed it to happen. It's an okie doke. Now that we're smart enough and we have the internet, I'm still shocked that we keep falling for the same old thing, but we do, which is why I believe we need counter propaganda, which is what this is. To wake some black people up and be like, hey, I understand why Freedom's Journal said what he said. And there was a time where I fell in line with a lot of those kind of anti-black narratives also, because I was always trying to separate myself from the drama or the riffraff, or, you know, I'm not like one of those blacks, right? I get it. I totally get it. But the reality is that I'm like, oh, no matter how much of that other shit we do in the system that we're in, if someone just decides that they want to treat me like one of those other guys, then they're just going to do it. And there's nothing that I can do about it. And that has been my problem. So anything else you want, that you made a couple of great points. Anything else that you want to say before we get up out of here?
No, not really. I mean, you kind of,
you have a channel?
Nah, man, I just kind of follow. I'm just kind of a follower.
That's what's up. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
31.
Cool. And then what state? You don't have to give me like city, but what state?
I'm in North Carolina.
That's what's up. Man, I'm going to try to open up the panel a little bit more moving forward. I'm going to try to I've been working on I don't like being unprepared, and I like to have a flow. I like to kind of put things together, and that just takes time. And sometimes I'm trying to figure it out so that I'm better at it. But the way it should be going is, hopefully I'm going to try to stick to 5 o'clock. I'm going to try to stick to the first hour being kind of more tailored stuff, and then the second hour being more panels. So I'm going to try to stay consistent. This is the format that I like. That we're on here a little bit longer than I thought we were going to be, but you know, it's always nice when I get some guys up here that we can, you know, bounce some ideas and some stuff off of each other, a little bit of like healthy debate, because oftentimes what I find is these conversations, they get blown up before anyone can actually get their points across. And very seldom are we able to actually get through a complete thought before there's a rebuttal. And I really want to be able to have some of these conversations, you know, and again, I want to be challenge my ideas. I could be wrong. I'm often wrong. And I like to show that we can have these conversations, we can have debate, we can be wrong, and we can still like shake each other's hands and like, and still be boys. But that's about it, man. Thank everybody for coming through and hanging out, bro. This was way more eventful than I expected. I was not expecting y'all to slide through. I really, truly appreciate it. Cody Marshall, Broken Blade, Freedman's Journal, Matt, appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Everybody in the Braxton, he came through for a split second. Salute. Sheridan, thank you so much for popping up in the chat. Who else goes up in here? Red Sigma, salute to you, bro. Also, make sure that you guys get over to Red Sigma's channel. He's been pumping out content lately. Also, I just caught one of his videos the other day. So salute to Red Sigma. What's up, bro? And what else? Who else? I think that I got just about everybody. Oh yeah, Hootsie. Shout out to Hootsie. He came up in here and he popped in for a split second. That's my man from New York. So, you know, slowly but surely, the crowd is getting bigger. The group is getting bigger. You know, and that's what I want. Next stop, 2000. Look, if you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm gonna start begging for subscriptions and shit, because I think we finally kind of broke through the YouTube purgatory a little bit. So now that they finally letting me get 1 or 2 subscribers every once in a while, I think we can kind of build on that. But boy, I was on freeze. I was on freeze for about a year almost. It was like a good 9 months. I said that one word. I said that one thing. It was actually about a black dude, but I said that one thing about his case, and everything went cold after that. That was wild. But anyways, man, salute to all of you guys. Once again, thank you guys so much for coming through and hanging out. I'm gonna be up in here tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about reparations. Freeman's Journal, how do you feel about reparations?
I don't care.
Don't care. Okay.
If I could, I would Thanos snap it into existence, and I would sit back and watch the chaos. And I'd come on this live stream and I'd be like, "Hey, what happened, Alvin? Where are the test scores?"
Hey, my pockets will be full. I ain't tripping. I'm
Yeah,
not
exactly. Exactly. It will help rich blacks would just invest the money. Middle class blacks will probably pay off some debt, go on a vacation, and then maybe save a little for college.
You wouldn't help the poor blacks, Friedman.
And bro, look, over 50%.
You wouldn't help the poor blacks. You would be like, "Hey, poor blacks, you should do it like this." You wouldn't help them out.
You crazy?
You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't help.
Are you high?
Really? Not yet.
You think I would take that away from them? You think they would not try to destroy me for telling them to take their money and put it in an investment? Have you dealt with poor? Do you know any poor black people?
You're telling you think the poor blacks would destroy you for trying to help them with their money? You think so?
Do you know poor black people?
Yeah,
Have you ever dealt with poor black people? Man, I swear, dude, you sound like
you can't say stuff like you crazy. Ugh.
You sound like an 80-year-old woman talking about these poor blacks like that. Like you have no idea. Have you dealt with poor black people?
I don't know. Maybe poor is not the word you're looking for.
No, I mean poor. People who make bad financial decisions with money, and you give them a whole lot of money.
Okay, all right.
What are you gonna do with those people?
I don't. Do we talk about other groups of people like this? Like, do we talk about trailer park people like this? I guess it's not in us to talk about.
Wait, let me ask you this. Okay, since you brought that up, have you ever heard white people talk about white trash white people?
Yeah, I have, but they do it private. Like they do it when they don't think we're listening.
That's why I think you could handle it in the military, because that's all the military is you talking shit about your group, basically. So it aggregates on socioeconomic status.
I'm trying to be nice, but you gotta chill on the question in my virality, sir. You don't have to chill on that shit. I'm trying to be nice, but you slick, you kind of slick call me a bitch earlier, and you keep testing my manhood. And I'm trying to keep it cool.
What did I say? I don't know what I said
about being a bitch.
No, before that, you said I'm testing your morality.
Not making it not being able to make it in the military.
No, you said that.
I agreed with you in jest.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's all about race jokes. That's why I said that. It's all race jokes, and there's no hurt feelings. Sorry, there's no hurt feelings. There's jokes about Jethro. There's jokes about Jaime, and there's jokes about DeAndre.
Okay, got you. Okay, but tell me something though. When and I understand all of that, but in the same token, when shit hits the fan and there's bullets flying, they can watch each other's backs, right?
Yeah.
Like that racism kind of goes away when like the rubber meets the road.
It's not even there. Matter of fact, here's a.
Okay, well, what the point I'm getting to is just that their proximity to each other and the fact that they depend on each other for life will absolutely change their attitude. But we're not in that situation where it's a life or death situation where people are depending on each other. We're over here on the other side where regular people are, where they can discriminate against each other with impunity. And that's a different equation altogether. Trying to compare the two is just not fair. But I digress.
Well, no, it's not. It seems like a non sequitur. All I was saying was, it's all race jokes all the time.
Got you.
So you can't have hurt feelings. There's no room for I got microaggress, Sergeant. It's not part of the plan. But anyway, my point was, where did we get this? Oh, you asked me about reparations.
Yeah.
So yes,
I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. I'm just curious to know what you think about it.
I would. No, I don't care. But I would Thanos snap it into existence and just watch what happens, and watch all of the high sounding rhetoric and what we gonna do, we gonna get businesses and all this. I'm gonna just sit back and watch. And be like, hey, what's up, Alvin? You want to do a live stream about
hate black people?
You want to do
You hate black people so much.
You want to do a live stream about all those businesses?
You hate black people so much. That's crazy. That's cool. I
just-
get it. I
no,
understand.
I can tell you what's going to happen.
I understand.
I've been listening to this. I've been listening to the same. I'm 50, bro. I've been listening to the same Reddit for a long time.
I know.
I have
you
moved
seem like
up and down the.
But you
I have
sound like
moved
you
up
want
and down.
you sound like you want that to happen though. That's my point.
It
Like,
doesn't. It's not what
I know
want.
I know Wakanda doesn't exist, but I'd like to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Go to Eads, Tennessee, bro.
What's in
Have
Eads,
you heard of
Tennessee?
Eads, Tennessee? That's the other thing. Eads, Tennessee is a neighborhood that's like 50% black. It's $500,000 homes, $800,000 homes. You know, you have intelligent, urbane black people. You don't have to go to Wakanda. It already exists. Right? Not everywhere is South Memphis. But anyway, my point is I'm 50. And you know what I like? I like being right. And I like my ideas and my theories playing out. And so when you take a huge lump sum of money and you give it to a bunch of people that, dude, just the lottery, take it out of context, black. The lottery, most lottery winners are broke. The only lottery winners that stay wealthy are the old people that win it. Right? The old people. That's it. If lottery winners are going broke,
I mean, you're perpetuating a pretty I mean, that
perpetuating
narrative
that's fact. That's fact. It is facts that most lottery winners are broke. They win it and they go broke. That's fact.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
not even that.
I'm not talking about that part. I'm the assumption that you're making that all of these black people won't know what to do with money is what I'm saying.
That is an assumption. That is an assumption.
Assumption, presumption. I don't know which way you want to say it. You could say it either way, I suppose.
Man, come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You think you'd give?
I will say.
You think you'd give a big lump sum of money to a bunch of poor white people and they turn into the Rockefellers?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, you're telling me that I think you're just inherently calling an entire group of people dumb. Though. I just don't understand how you square that circle. Like I don't understand how you can't see what I'm talking about and why I'm dragging my feet on this issue, because I don't think that that's the case. I think that the people that we see in the media overrepresent who we are as a people. And I think as a people, I don't think that we would do what you think that we would do. You're sounding like the racist people on TV you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you just spoke of a whole neighborhood of black people in nice houses and all this stuff. They clearly knew what to do. So they're not the only ones. You're telling me that there aren't any poor black that, given the money, would figure out what to do with it so that they were successful?
I didn't say that. Are you trying to make an argument on an outlier? Is there some poor black person that got a lump sum of money that out of all of the masses of poor black people that would do something positive with it? Okay. Yes, that too is a statistical fact, right? Okay, but the vast majority, it doesn't matter what the color is. You could go to rural Kentucky and give them the same reparations package and they will do the exact same thing. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll be able to continue this conversation tomorrow if you down with it. I'll be up here. You can chop on it. I would love to hear your thoughts, because I just, everyone defaults to what y'all gonna do with it. Y'all would know what to do with it, and how do we know who to pay? Those are usually the two things that people use. They just throw that shit on the wall and hope that no one is smart enough to wade through those excuses. I got answers for all that shit. So I don't think it's nearly as hard as people try to make it seem. It's not nearly as impossible. It's just that people just do not want to open up the door for blacks to be just as good as them. I think that if we were to put the money in the hands of black people like we're supposed to, and we were able to invest our own money with the way that we want to, and we wouldn't get undermined by all these other people, then I think we would do just as well as any other group. Just
That
saying.
is yeah, I see head nods. Yeah. Yeah, that's that was exactly what happened. This is that's why I would Thanos snap it into reality.
Because
all those nodding heads. For all those nodding heads.
You hate
And I would
black
just
people so much.
no,
Why you
no,
hate
no,
black
no.
people so much? What
Because I want
happened?
you to hurry up and be wrong, and then you can be right. Right? Go ahead, hurry up and be wrong. So that then you can just say,
Yes. Why so you would prefer to see all these black people just fall on their face, huh?
Bro, they're already there. What are you talking about? Fall on their face from where?
So we can't go any further than why you keep trying to kick
You
dirt on
you can't destroy yourself. Like, did you grow up in the hood?
No.
Like, did you? Okay, so
I'm trying to figure out where your frustration lies.
So, having not grown up in the hood, you think that you could just airmail a bunch of money in there and we are going to figure it out and we'll have the same opportunity as everybody else. And just, what do you think is the end state of reparations?
I don't give a fuck. It's money owed.
Exactly. See, it's this emotional thing. You don't care. You don't even care about the result.
I do care about the result. I have faith.
Stated.
I have faith. You're trying to make me use it as an example. I have faith that it's going to benefit us the way it should. I'm not assuming that we're going to do wrong. I'm not assuming anything. I'm saying, look, it doesn't even matter how I feel about it. The debt is owed. Pay the debt, and then whatever happens, happen. I'm just not hoping that it goes wrong. I'm hoping, I'm praying. I would like to assume that more of us know what to do with the money than not. But you assume that most of us don't know what to do with the money, and you presume or assume that we're going to fuck it off. And I get that. I understand that. I just think it's funny that presume, yes.
What? Okay, so before I were to bring up a bunch of data to support my point, do you have any objective metric that would make you think what you think?
We have the Native Americans. Yes, some people drink themselves to death, but they also make casinos. They also have casinos.
They're poor and dumb. Even with those casinos, they're poor and dumb.
I think we're smarter than you. But I mean,
the majority of the group is poor and dumb.
The vast majority of the group is poor and dumb. What are you talking about?
I just can't. I understand what you're trying to do, but it's just I just don't agree. But I mean, we can respectfully disagree. I think it's, you would assume that black people would not know what to do with the money, and I fall on the other side of the fence where I think that we would do just fine. Just cut us the check. That's how that's where I stand on it. That's all. So, anyways, we're gonna. I don't want to blow a load today because I want to talk. Pause. I want to talk about it tomorrow. And that was for you, Cody. But no, man, I'm so thankful that I got a chance. I'm dead serious, man. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out and us having a real conversation about this. And even if it's just like surface level, this was only meant for this channel was meant for us to be able to kind of have these, because we're not getting super deep. We don't have to get super deep. This is surface level. Let's just get the conversation out there. Some people are going to hear this and be motivated by the conversation, and hopefully we can push it along a little bit further. We don't have to get super duper deep. Thank you guys so much for coming through, hanging out. I really wish that Halle Berry hadn't done what she did. I can't help but stare at her midsection every time I see this image. And my eyes are automatically drawn to it, which is weird because I'm not really that kind of guy. But every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, you really can't see the side of her side vag. You really can. Her vajayjay is like right there. Like it's like right there. Like I know right behind that little sliver of material. It's just like right there. Like it's right there.
You a man, big dog. You a man.
I'm just saying. I'm like, damn, that's crazy that this 58-year-old lady still got her vajayjay out like that. That's crazy. That's wild. Shout out to her. Anyways, shout out to all y'all, man. Thank you so much for coming. We'll catch you guys up. What's that?
We call that a knot.
Got the moose knuckle.
The knot.
The moose knuckle. Anyways, man, shout out to y'all. Let's try not to get kicked off the internet. We out.